What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. Can you hear me loud and clear? Let me know that you do hear me loud and clear. This is something else. I set this up and guess my thumbnail did not come, but I will be putting my thumbnail on back on. So anyway, we'll fix all of that. So welcome to Round One Sports TV, fight family. I'm always your host, Edwin. Uh, where the wall fights start. Now my sound effects do not want to work today. Come on, here we go. You know what I'm saying? Where the wall fights start. Round one. You know it. Listen, let's talk about this. My predictions and more. We getting closer to the fight. I'm gonna be there, New York City, Queens, July 12th. We're days away from the fight. I want to know what you think. I'm gonna let you know what I think. I'll put it in the thumbnail below, man. I think that Berlanga is gonna come through for us, and I think Subria is gonna come through. Let's talk about why. All right, stay with me. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about boxing. Let's go. Hugo, how you doing? In the building. Yes, sir. Listen, we're going to have an exciting weekend of boxing. We got the girls kicking on it off on Netflix Friday. You know, that's a big showdown. There's a lot of major world titles in that fight. Shout out to the women in boxing. But on to the men's. And the men's boxing right now, Puerto Rico is in for a hell of a night. They're in for a hell of a night. And I think that both combatants here, Hamzah Sheeraz has a lot to prove to the naysayers that he lost that fight against Carlos Adames. And most of us feel that way, that he did, in fact, lose that fight. So he has a lot to prove. Moving up to a new weight division, this is not an easy jump, guys. This is an 8-pound jump from 160 to 168. This is not 122 to 126, 4-pound weight jump. This is an 8-pound weight jump. How is Hamzah Sheeraz going to respond? Now, from what I saw in the weigh-ins, besides all the antics, right? Because truth be told, Oscar De La Hoya is the lead promoter on this event in New York City. And it kind of strikes me that the main event, the guy that's hosting the main event, is being attacked by the promoter, whether or not he's rightfully Puerto Rican. What are you talking about? Listen, the difference between Edgar Berlanga and Oscar De La Hoya, both men not being born in their native country. Here's one slight, subtle, but obvious reason. Oscar De La Hoya, when you fought in the Olympics, did you represent Mexico or did you represent the United States? I'll wait. You represented the United States. And Oscar De La Hoya, if I'm not mistaken, how many times did you come out in your career with the Mexican flag, with the Mexican logo, with Mexican colors? How many times, Oscar, have you ever come out and represented Mexico? See, Edgar Berlanga, every single fight he comes out, he proudly represents Puerto Rico, damn it. Puerto Rico on his gloves. You can see the flag. He's clearly representing Puerto Rico. You see, Oscar De La Hoya, that is the difference between you and Edgar Berlanga. You never represented Mexico, so they never accepted your ass. You turned their back on you, they turned their back on you, and you turned their back on them. But Edgar Berlanga, since day one, New York Rican, baby. I don't know why you attacking his character in a fucking promotion that you're main eventing, bro. You're headlining, you're promoting, Oscar. It's like you're shooting your card in the foot. Or is it all publicity is good publicity? How do you feel about it? Get the Puerto Ricans riled up. Yo no iba a esta pelea, pero ahora Oscar hablando mierda. Yo voy para allá. Yo voy para vamos para Nueva York. Right? Maybe get the Puerto Ricans all riled up. Because I don't get it. You're shooting down the main event, the headliner, because your guy, William Cepeda, didn't headline with Shakur Stevenson? Is that the issue? You got Edgar Berlanga on the stage acting a fool, throwing out pantyhose. You guys seen it? Money, dance for me. Stripper, strip. Throwing out thongs and shit. You know, and the Oscars' only defense is to laugh it off. Asking them for, all I asked to see was your passport, your motherfucker. It's called the birth certificate. And whether or not he was born in Puerto Rico or the U.S., I believe Puerto Rico is a U.S. state. So ain't it the same thing? I think, Oscar De La Hoya, all you are is jealous and butthurt that your countrymen didn't embrace you like they're accepting Edgar Berlanga, and it hurts you. It hurts you that you're not accepted. You even try to go to Puerto Rico and be with a Puerto Rico woman, Oscar De La Hoya, because you left your people because they didn't accept you. So because you were shunned, and because you chose to make the decisions you made and say the things you said about Mexico, you want to put that on Edgar Berlanga? Nice try, baby. Nice try, because we got Edgar Berlanga's back. The only thing most of us Puerto Ricans was questioning is whether or not Edgar Berlanga's heart was still in the game. That's it. We never questioned if he was Puerto Rican. We knew that. We just wanted to know, can we trust you to get behind you, and are you not going to let us down? Just show us, Edgar Berlanga, that we see, and win, lose, or defeat, that you came in prepared your best. That's why they showed them so much love after Saul. Because they saw it. They saw it firsthand. Nah, Edgar Berlanga came in ready to fight Saul, bro. For all the inexperience he had, for as green and as young he was, for how outgunned he was in that fight with Saul Canelo Alvarez, my man didn't get knocked out. My man stood on his feet. He learned in that ring. He was outgunned, outmatched, outskilled, outachieved. Edgar Berlanga had never fought for a world title. And you put him against that monster? I think he did pretty good. And Hamzah Sharif, listen, yeah, he did fight Carlos Adames, which I think Carlos Adames is a pretty good fighter in his own right, bro. He's nasty, right? A little bit of gas tank issue. I'm not sure if he took this dude so serious. But no matter what, Carlos won that fight, bro. Hands down, he won that fight. And Hamzah can say all he want. And then now I'm looking at Edgar, and I'm looking him at the weigh-in. I'm looking at Hamzah, and I'm trying to notice subtleties. And what I noticed was Edgar Berlanga was thinner. He was a lot thinner than he was coming into the Saul fight. See, they didn't even hit weigh-in yet. And both these guys were still thin right now. They haven't even started cutting weight. So that goes to show you that when he fought Saul Canelo Alvarez, he knew he had to match power. So he wanted to be as big as he was to take as much damage and be able to hit as hard as he could. So he chose to go the bulky way, the bigger way against Saul. In this fight, he sees it's not about that. It might be about speed and boxing and being fast enough to catch up to him. And it looks like Edgar Berlanga took this fight very serious, and he looks great. He looks like he's in shape. Now, Hamzah, being the fact that he's moving up in weight, I have no information how he's actually going to perform in this weight division. I have no data on that. He looks good, Hamzah. He looks great. He looks like he packed on the pounds. it doesn't look like it really affected him, right? But is he going to be able to fight a kid in Edgar Berlanga that has made his career in this weight division? He knows no other weight division. He's been banging it out with these big boys up here his entire career. So you got to watch out with that, with guys entering new divisions and fighting dangerous bangers. Hamzah in his own right got a good punch. Edgar Berlanga, I think, even has a better one. Okay. It's just whether or not Edgar, and then people want to say that Hamzah Sheeraz is this skilled boxer because he could use a jab. Every boxer can use a jab, bro. Even Edgar. That doesn't make you an efficient boxer. I still think that Hamzah's a little green too. Although he puts his hands together pretty good, by definition, no, he's not the most skilled boxer. No, he's just doing boxing shit. Now, when you see the skilled boxer, is the timing, the positioning, the accuracy, the distant management with the boxing all together. That's called skilled boxing. You could just be a boxer, but you're not a skilled boxer in that sense and regard, where you're like setting shit up. You look good throwing it, but not really, utilizing it to its best. So I don't think Hamzah's like that. Okay, so let's just back up. The man can work a jab. So what? Right? So, but Edgar's got to know he can't let the night get too big. He can't allow the night and the New York fans and the rush to want to prove he can beat this guy. I believe in this fight there's going to be a process. He's going to have to break him down. And then I think he could finish him. If not, I think the fight might go 12. I think Hamzah's going to run a lot. He's going to try to bite, fight. At some point, maybe Edgar might have to bite down on the mouthpiece, make it ugly. I'm not sure. I see it going a lot of different ways. I see nervous energy in the beginning, but when they settle in the fight, I think the fight's going to break out mostly in the fourth round. From the fourth round and up, I think their fight's going to break out. And maybe the best man win. I got Edgar Berlanga in this fight. I got Edgar Berlanga by stoppage. I think he's going to stop Hamzah late. Going to be late, but I think he's going to actually stop him. It might be early because you never know. Edgar, he doesn't like to get paid for overtime. Edgar, he likes to get him out of there quick. 16 first round knockouts. So don't blink. Don't 17. Get up soda because the fight might be over. You know what I
mean? 17 first round knockouts.
Oh, 17? Well, add that one too. It might just be 18, So don't blink because this one has the potential of being over fast. But I think the most exciting fight card on the card is absolutely, I'm going to stick to it. I'm standing on this one. I think it's going to be Matias versus Alberto Puello. I think they're going to steal the night. I like both their styles. I think that, La Vipa here, the Wasp or whatever you want to call him, Alberto Puello, I think he's going to hit Subriel Matias with some interesting punches. Now, my man Frontline here has brought to my attention on numerous occasions that Matias has been training left-handed in several videos. Now, Frontline picked this out, I'm talking weeks ago. He noticed this in videos and he brought it to my attention. He said, yo, Elwin. I said, what? He said, yo, you notice Matias is boxing lefty? And I looked at him and I said, when you record some videos, they go backwards. I said, could it be that? Right? He goes, I don't know. I think he's boxing lefty. So we kept watching more videos. He kept bringing more videos to my attention. No, look at this one. No, look at this one. And look at this one. I was like, yo, my man is training lefty for real. So we watched them together on the open workout. And don't you know, Subriel Matias was in the open workout boxing lefty. And I was like, oh, shit. Right? So, of course, me and Frontline doing his due diligence because he's always, with me on these things. And we look things up.
Yo, Edwin, hold on 1 second. Coqui, my condolences, brother.
What happened?
He had a death in the family. He won't be attending the Matias fight.
He won't be?
Nah,
Coqui,
but
bro, I'm sorry to hear that.
he'll be watching it with his girlfriend. He says,
All right, all right.
"Yo,
Look,
Coqui, keep your head up, ah."
yeah, absolutely, brother. So we was started doing some research on Supriya Matias, and he said, and Frontline said, "Yo, he writes with his left, he eats with his left," and I'm saying he might have been naturally a left-handed, born left-handed, and decided to fight right-handed because when sometimes when you're a little kid or something, you go into a gym, the coach automatically puts you in the right hand stance, and the kid just does what he's being told to do. So, and I think he might have grew up as a right hand fighter,
He
but he's
adapted.
a natural left-handed.
Well,
Yeah.
we also got Miguel Cotto that was like that. We got
Yes.
Xander Zayas is the same way.
Yes. He was born left-handed. He fights right-handed. Right. Now,
Right.
now,
I don't know about Tito, but
right. So what I'm saying is that we found that very interesting. Frontline was the one that brought this to my attention, and I want to bring it to you guys' attention. Did you guys also notice that he was in the left hand stance? Did you also notice that perhaps that's his game plan? Because uh sometimes if you switch things up in a fighter's career, it could hurt your fighter. You're like, yo, are you seriously going to teach him to be lefty now? But if he was always a lefty, you were actually teaching him to fight righty. He already knew he was comfortable in the left. So just teach him in the left. Now, that's a good strategy because I believe
I think it'll
I,
throw Puello's whole game plan
I think
off
so. That
target.
I Yeah, I believe it's gonna throw his game plan off
Yo, shout out
because
to the chat. We got Hugo, Julio Colon, Bang Bang, Puerto Rican Rum, Coqui, and El Gran Antonio. He's back.
the Gran Antonio is back. Let me drop the link because I know you
Oh
guys
yeah,
like to come up.
Hugo's been begging for it. I guess he gonna
Has
curse
he?
you out for you talking shit about Oscar.
Is it? Is he? Come on,
Oh yeah, yeah. As soon as you mentioned Oscar, he started. Yo, drop the chat, drop the link.
yo,
Oh,
yeah.
and Chicago in the building too. Chicago April. I don't know if that's Chicago Kills or,
Nah, that ain't Chicago Kills.
but he said not. Whoever Chicago is said not going live. By Edgar ain't focused. Sheeraz by points.
Ooh, Edgar is not focused, they say. Let me hear it. Let me talk to me. Here, the link. I dropped the link in the chat. With all respect, always come up here. I show you respect. Round One Sports Talk. I value everyone's opinions, even if we don't agree or agree. We can talk like men. You start acting up, I'm booting you. You know what I'm saying? I like respect and I give it. I'm not trying to change your mind. We're just talking our opinions. You know what I'm saying? And here comes the first one. Let's go.
Yo, I do have.
You
I
got
wonder. I
what?
wonder if anybody caught it. I wonder what was said between Matias and Puello in that face off.
Oh, I would like to know what
I
that.
would
Yeah,
love to know if
I would
anybody
love
that
to
knows
know.
anybody that was at there for the media press or whatever.
Mic check, mic check.
Mike J, you go.
Hugo,
What's
what's up,
what it
pa?
is?
All right,
What
Pa.
it
So
do?
what's up, man? So first of all, dog, we're gonna put some respect on Oscar de la Hoya's name, all right? That Olympic gold medalist, that sixth division world champion, that Mexican American, all right? So let me teach you
Yeah, yeah,
something, brother. Let me teach you
yeah.
something. You know why the Mexicans turned his back on him? Do you know what Mexican legend he retired? What Mexican legend he beat?
You're on mute, Edward.
You're on mute, papi. So,
I,
so,
I know.
so he retired Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. After that, the whole country was like, F this dude. One, he's not born in Mexico, and that's how it is. Myself included, man. I'm I'm not American enough right here when I go to schools in the valley, and I'm not Mexican enough when I go visit my cousins down in Tijuana. So we're stuck, man. We're stuck in between here and there. But yeah, like we're Chicanos. So like I mentioned to you, we'll never be from over there, and we'll never be from over here 100%, my brother. So that's the
Yeah.
reason why the
Oh,
Mexicans
I know
didn't
it.
ride with Oscar. So don't be
Yep.
saying, my
Hey,
guy
Paul.
Edwin, that the Mexicans turned his back on him. No, it wasn't like that, brother. He went to go ahead and he fought Julio Cesar Chavez, and that's why Mexico was like, damn, he took one of us.
But
Let me
Hugo,
ask you guys this, and then I'll pass the mic over. If Berlanga were to retire Miguel Cotto and beat him, you think the island will fuck with him hard as they are right now?
Saturday.
well, first of all, when Oscar beat Chavez, Chavez was at the end of his career, and it was
Diablo!
basically
Claro, todo el mundo.
Yep,
Yep, go ahead.
passing the torch to Oscar as the next face of Mexican
Not
boxing.
Mexican
That's
boxing,
the
brother.
same
He's
thing.
not Mexican.
That's the Papi. Listen, and that's the same thing that Oscar De La Hoya did with Canelo. He passed the torch.
You guys have
Before,
to you guys have to remember, Diego Pacheco will never be as Mexican Armando Resendiz. They just can't compare. Armando Resendiz went on a Mexican winning tour to Nayarit, Sinaloa, Chihuahua, everywhere, bro. He
He's
is
still Mexican though.
Mexican. He
yeah.
is
Oh,
Mexican.
okay,
Diego
okay,
He's a
Pacheco
Hugo.
diehard
reps
Okay,
Mexican.
Mexico, but he's not 100% Mexican.
okay, guys, slow down. First of all, right? You are whoever the hell you believe you are. First of all, we
You
don't.
can't
I
do
don't
it
have the
like
right
that.
to tell
You
you.
can't
I
do it
don't have
like
the
that,
right.
Edwin. You can't,
I
my
don't have the
brother.
right to tell you. No, I don't have the right to tell you who you are as a person. You believe who you are. If you're Mexican, you are. Damn it, you are Mexican, and that is it. Okay. The reason why they turned on Oscar De La Hoya is because Julio Cesar Chavez and him went at it like on that time's social media platform. What we had was like the news, and they disrespected each other so much. Then they fought. So when Oscar beat him, it was more like disrespect. You see? So it wasn't an honor thing. It wasn't like passing the torch.
Like I mentioned again, Oscar, Diego Pacheco, all my Mexican American fighters will never be 100% Mexican, even if they come out with the flag. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. We come out with the flag because we know that we'll sell more. We know that Mexicans ride hard with boxing. So yeah, man, we're proud of being Mexican Americans, you know. But I mean, we just like Edgar Berlanga, man. He comes out with the Puerto Rican flag. You know why? Because he knows he's gonna sell more. He's gonna gain more fans, Papa. That's what it is, and that's what it comes down to. Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, even Philippines, are the three biggest coaches that ride with their
With their
people,
fighter,
but
yeah.
with their fighters, pa. So what I'm trying to tell you is that I've never got the impression that Oscar wanted to be this Mexican que habla puro español fighter. He was a
Right.
Mexican American, which is a
Yeah,
little
he was.
different,
Yeah, he was. He
respectfully.
was. He
So
was.
so
He
then
was.
when you say that the Mexicans turned his back on him, no, because he was never
They
100%
did.
there.
Well, they did in a sense after Oscar made those statements about Mexico and said he turned his back on them. They was a bad words. I'm not gonna repeat it. And then they felt like they did at one point in his career, turn their back on him. But that was due in part because of Oscar. You know,
Okay.
Oscar just didn't. He like. I think Oscar felt like he could take on everything. I think he thought he could just do whatever you. I don't know what he thought, but I know one thing: Wilfredo Benitez wasn't born in Puerto Rico. He's born in New York City, and he's one of the most decorated Puerto Rican fighters that we have, and we honor and respect him as one of our greatest. So you can be
Is he as
born
Puerto
in
sorry,
another.
is he as Puerto Rican as Tito Trinidad?
y-
Who's more
y-
Puerto Rican?
Who's more Puerto Rican?
Yeah,
I
who's more Puerto
neither,
Rican?
neither. They both are. I
Who
don't
was
Both
play
born
are
in
that
La
shit just
Isla?
because
100%.
you're
Who was
born on
born
the
in La
100%.
island.
Isla? Who was born in La Isla?
Felix was.
Exactly. Who
But
was
that's
born in La
okay.
Isla that grew up in
It
the
doesn't
dirt
matter.
eating plátano?
That doesn't make him more
Of
Puerto
course
No,
it
Rican.
does, brother.
No, it doesn't. It
How do
nah,
you
we
doesn't.
No,
don't
not?
it
care. We don't care
doesn't.
about that. You do.
No, it's just the way that the culture and society is, man. You know, if you're born in your motherland, if you grew up descalzo en la tierra comiendo plátano, that
So,
makes you more.
so Hugo, let me
Go
ask you
ahead, brother.
this:
Go ahead.
if your mother and your father were in the military,
Yeah.
right, and they were out in, let's say,
Okay.
Germany,
Does that make me German?
and they were Mexican residents,
Yeah.
right? They were Mexican resident. They were Mexican citizens, and and you were born in Germany because they were out on a
Okay.
base.
Mexican base, right? A
The,
Mexican base.
it's
It's in
in
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Germany.
yeah.
Germany,
But like part of the Mexican military. Okay.
correct? Does that make you any less Mexican because you was born in Germany?
Growing up, I won't have the same type of traditional grow up upgrowings as my friend Jaime Munguia that grew up in Tijuana, that grew up running in downtown Tijuana. I'm still Mexican, yeah, but I'm not as Mexican as him. That he knows the ins and outs of La Tierra. Me personally,
But you just said it. You're still
of course
Mexican.
you are.
You
No,
just said it. You
of course,
still
of
Mexican.
course.
So the Puerto Rican is born in Africa. He's still Puerto Rican or she.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter where you're born. It's where your roots
absolutely.
are.
Yeah,
I mean,
And we
look.
got to stop that. We got to stop that because I think Oscar was a Mexican no matter what. How I view him,
Mexican
Oscar's a Mexican
American
champion.
Chicano.
Yeah, but that's
Mexican
okay. Call him what you
American
want, man.
Chicano.
I
You
think
know?
he's Mexican.
I mean, look, right here down in LA, of course, we're all Mexicans to the white guys. Of course, if they see me, I'm a dark skinned Mexican, you know? I'm from
Mhm.
down south. Well, my parents, you know, I was blessed enough to be born here in LA. But, anyways, of course, and they're right, yeah, but when we start talking to each other, we know who truly is Mexican and who truly is a Chicano.
Mm,
Respectfully,
mm. I get it. I
respectfully.
get it.
You know. So
I
that's
get it.
why I want to implement it that Oscar de la Hoya would never have the same backing as a Canelo Alvarez that comes from Guadalajara.
Yeah. Well, just to like get to the end of this right here. Like, look, first of all, I
Look,
think
I
Oscar
think
De La
Amanda
Hoya is one of the
Serrano
best.
is more
I,
Puerto Rican than Berlanga.
listen, I think
Respectfully,
Oscar De La Hoya is one of the best champions. He
thank
has
you.
six divisions. That's nothing to look down on. He has more than any champ. There's only two people in boxing history in that room. It's him and Manny Pacquiao. That's it. So as far as accomplishment goes, and he got a gold medal to put on those six divisions. So there's nothing I can say about Oscar De La Hoya's reign in boxing, and he fought the who's who, and he got a legendary careers of achievements.
And
So as
he's a
far as
successful businessman to this day.
okay. Now, as far as Oscar De La Hoya, the boxer, he got all my respect in the world. Oscar De La Hoya, the promoter, that motherfucker, he can shit talk. We can shit talk too. That's all. It's all just shit talking. No love loss. No love loss. But Oscar does a lot of shit talking. So Oscar, the promoter, got to take shit talking back. That's all
Okay,
it
I have a
is.
question. Out of Oscar De La Hoya, out of Manny Pacquiao, out of Shane Mosley, out of Fernando Vargas, out of Tito Trinidad, who to this day is more successful in business and in life? Who got more like, oh, I'm still receiving off my name and I invested to this day? Who?
Well,
Who? Who?
I think
Who?
Oscar De La Hoya did more than all of them. So,
All right.
you
And
know, so
yeah, I mean, you see videos online now that Shane Mosley. Oh man, I want to fight with Oscar again.
yeah,
Why?
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
you didn't know how to invest your money properly, man. You didn't have the mind. So I mean, that's why I'm just saying, brothers. I
Yeah,
know he
yeah,
did
yeah.
some funny shit even before, man, even probably before I was born, or I don't know what's up with those
So what?
pictures. But
So
that's forever
what?
gonna haunt him. But
So
anyways,
what?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
That don't
that
mean
was
nothing.
before, yeah.
Yo, he had wild nights. So what? He had good times in hotels. Yo, I wish I could live his life. It's just
Nah,
the
but that was a
I'm
little
pretty
bit
sure.
more wild than what your average Joe would have with
I
those
know, I
pictures.
know, I know. He
You
might have
know?
went a little further than me. He might have went a little further than me, but all I see is a man, bro. Estaba empericado, estaba metiendo parte. You know what I'm saying? Estaba con una mujer, bro. Shit happens. It gets crazy, bro. You know, I can imagine what it's like to be rich like that and young and bro. But it's fucked up when you see it and it's embarrassing. Yeah, it's a hit, but you just gotta laugh with it, bro. You just gotta go with it, bro. Like Oscar's doing, and I commend him for that. He doesn't shy away from it. He's like, yo, it is what it is. What? You know what I'm saying? And he likes to wear fucking speedos. Then wear speedos. I don't know. Yo, my man is crazy with them speedos. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I do gotta commend Oscar though. He held it down
He
on his
did.
own
He
at the
did. He
press
did. He did.
conference.
He did. Hey, yo, Antonio, give him my man Antonio a little bit. He was in here. How you
Quick.
doing, brother?
Yo, yo, yeah, y'all hear me real quick?
What's poppin',
Yeah,
bro?
yeah,
What's
yeah.
poppin'? What up? So excited, bro. One big dog today.
Huh?
Yo, my bad, guys. I don't want to interrupt anybody. I just wanted to get back to Hugo. I know he was talking about the whole Edgar Berlanga and Oscar, all that. So, yo, real quick, right?
Yep.
Because the Mexicans, like, I get it, they're Latino and shit, but like the whole history is different based on the fact that Mexico got their independence.
Yeah. Oh, he got a phone call. He dropped. Antonio, talk to me.
¿Qué? ¿Qué es lo que, my
Ahí,
lover?
ahí.
What's poppin'? How you doing?
Ahí, just trying to sell this fight. Hablando mierda. Trying to get everybody riled up. Yo
Yo,
quiero a la gente
yo,
que
Hugo, you
oh
vengan.
my
must be
god.
on Bluetooth or something because we're
Yeah,
getting
we're
an
getting
echo.
echo. Real bad echo, Hugo.
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
From me? From
No,
me?
from
There,
Hugo.
No, no,
we're
not
good
From
or
from
Hugo.
you.
no? Or still?
From
Oh, it
Hugo.
Still?
just went away. It just went away.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, that's my
Okay.
AC, brother. My bad.
Okay. Coquillo, give me 1 second. Antonio,
Yeah, yeah.
finish what you were saying real quick.
My brother, tell me.
No, listen. I'm trying to sell this hype. I'm trying to sell this fight. I want
Yeah,
the people to come out. I think that
that's the way it should be. That's the way
yeah,
it should
I
be.
think that mira, entre nosotros, I think this little ISIS thing, llevándose la gente, is scaring people to come out too, and I
But
think we're
is it
having a
as bad
problem.
as? Uh, sorry
Yeah,
to
yeah.
interrupt,
It
but
could be
I
factually.
I
Yeah,
know
it
it
is.
ain't as bad as over here as LA, man. Or is it bad at, in the East
It's
too?
mira, in
We're
Worcester,
in
they were
America.
dragging out this lady from Ukraine. The ICE people were taking her from Ukraine because she came
Yeah.
over here,
Brother.
and the
Today they
community
raided
came out to fight
a
ICE.
farm here in
I
Altadena
saw
with
that.
a
I saw that.
thousand illegals working, brother, not doing nothing, literally fruit picking in los campos. I don't know if it's as bad as over here.
Uh huh. Well,
It's bad,
Well,
I
they
know they're
did
doing
something. They were here
they're
illegally.
huh?
taking They're taking anyone that's illegal. They're taking it's
That's
not
nasty.
Mexicans or anything. It's everyone. They took these Russian people, these Ukraine people.
Yeah,
They took
bro. The thing's getting really messy,
yeah, it
brother.
is.
Really
It is.
messy.
And listen, guys,
Yeah.
a lot of these guys, Mexican guys that had big money, they used to take the whole family to the fight, right? Now they ain't doing that because you threatening to take us. So Big Willie ain't putting up the money for them 11 tickets he was buying. And you're wondering why you're not selling out because boxing and gangsters have a coalition. Boxers and gangsters have always that's a money sport with cash trades hands. And you're starting to take all
But
these
but
people. I think it's a fact.
but you know what? You know what? I don't think I show up in big events like this one. I don't think so because it's gonna hurt the business. And if there's something that the U.S. really respects and protects is the business and money.
Yeah,
So I don't think they'll
yeah,
show up
but
there.
no one wants to travel. They're holding you at the airport, taking your visa. They're like keeping you prisoner in airports. It's just a headache. If you want to come from overseas to come out to see Edgar Berlanga right now, don't even do it. It's a
Well,
nightmare right now.
don't worry about that,
Bro,
puppy,
bro,
because supposedly
they're
his
so
fans
hard
are
on
from
it.
Puerto
They're so
Rico.
hard on it.
Huh?
They're so hard on it that they're even suspending the people that live, for example, in the Dominican Republic or other countries that are residents there in the U.S. They're suspending their green
Their
card.
visas, yeah, they're suspended and student visas. They just had
Their
they
green
just
card,
had a
yeah.
whole bunch of people up in Canada. They were shipping Canadians back. Yeah,
They say if you are a U.S. resident, you gotta live here. You don't have to live in your country of origin. You gotta live
wow.
here. That's what they're saying. That's what they're
Yeah,
saying.
this is just something else. How's it gonna affect the Saul Canelo Alvarez fight?
Big, because
Come
when
on,
Yeah,
bro.
Canelo
yeah.
fights,
Talk
um,
about it.
70% of the crowd is for Canelo. Respectfully,
Okay.
70% of the crowd in the Canelo fights are, 70% of the people that go to the Canelo fights are for Canelo, if not more. Now, you were in the Boxing Boys earlier, and brother called, and he says that who cares that that the African American brothers are gonna be out for Terrence Crawford. Cool,
Right.
cool. But respectfully, and I say this respectfully, I don't think they will show up like the Mexican crowd would. respectfully.
Yeah.
Respectfully, because I've heard stories when Canelo fights in the T-Mobile, for example. Man, you could feel the Mexican presence.
Oh,
You could feel the
okay,
Mexican
okay,
presence
okay. Before I
on
move on to the caller that just came, rest in peace, Alberto Puello, 19, 94 to
Yo, y'all hear me,
2025.
yo?
Right? Yeah,
Oh
I
my
can hear you.
fucking god!
I can
All
hear
right, cause
that click.
yo, cause I'm not sure we was on CNN talking about like politics or boxing,
Yeah,
cause
yeah, man. Let's talk
yeah,
boxing. Let's talk
you know what
Let's
I'm saying.
boxing.
talk boxing.
I'm trying to focus
Yeah,
on Saturday. Like, yo, my bad. Like, if anybody got deported, like my dad got deported, bro. But that shit happens,
yeah,
bro. I don't know.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
yo,
Bro, what about the face off between Puello and Matias? What about
now,
it?
yo, it looks like they're both friendly, but I don't want Matias to be friendly. Like, you know how Matias is friendly with Paro,
Yeah.
because Matias is not gonna be that beast. He got to be that beast. He can't be on that
No.
friendly shit. Because at the every round with the power fight, Matias was touching his gloves. He was like, "You okay? You okay?" I was like, "What the fuck is that, man? That's not."
You know what happened? You know what happened? I had a story that Matias visited the DR in the past with Santiago, with all Santiago, and they share a moment between Puello and Matias. They were kind of friends before that. They were about to
Yeah,
fight,
Mm.
so they kind of met. There they are, so they know each other from that
I do
time. So
remember
they
that.
kind of
You're
have
right.
some kind of
I
respect for
Yeah,
saw
each other.
something different at that face off when they just faced off right here. I saw Matias talking shit to him. I wish there was a mic in between them. I would like to hear what he said.
Yo, you heard what he said though, right? He said, "Yo, Puello, hold that belt tight and sleep and make love to it, cause it's gonna be the last time you
Nah,
gonna
he
make love to
said
that
yo,
motherfucker. That's coming home
on
with
the
me."
face of
I'm
Matias said, "Don't look at my forehead. It is already very ugly. Look at my eyes." And I don't know what Puello said to him, but Puello response that was very short. And then Puello, when they facing forward, kind of went to his chest and said something I don't know. But then Puello said, talk to you on
I'll talk to
Saturday."
you Saturday. Ah,
Yeah,
yo. Do you
yeah.
guys, do you guys
That's
think
what
Puello?
I
Do you
could
think
notice.
Puello looks weight drained
They
from
both
what you
look
see?
pretty way. Yeah, man. His cheeks are really
yeah, but Playo looks like that all the time, guys.
I thought
All
he
the
All the
looked.
time. That's
time
what I
he looks
say.
like
People,
that.
I
I believe people are overreacting to that.
thought
I
he
believe people
better.
is
So when
overreacting to
he
that.
had the
Prayer is
weight,
always like this.
No, his cheeks are always sunken after every weight
Yeah,
cut. All that
always,
he
always, always.
that's his character. Don't let that fool you. Don't let that fool you. He looks like that
Yo,
every
Edwin,
time.
allow me to catch up with the chat
Tom,
real
what's up?
quick.
His morphology is like this.
Allow me to
Yeah,
catch up with the chat
Tom,
real quick.
go ahead.
Big 0581 says Bumlanga loses, Cepeda loses, Matia
Okay.
loses. Bang says, sorry, brother, I never wanted to dress like a woman. Laughing emoji. Craig says Matias isn't losing. Berlanga is going to step on Sheeraz. That's embarrassing. De La Hoya was married at the time. His wife didn't find that funny. Sicko Fire says the Bumlanga fight should should open the card. Richard says Subriel Matias, Camarón, Morale, Berlanga winning by the big W. JMD Tobe, Matias is not playing.
Okay, now
That's it. Oh wait, no, Alfonso Ochoa said Puello and Matias look drained as hell, and he also said round one Edgar is overlooking the giraffe.
the giraffe. No, I don't think he's overlooking him. Somebody's mic is just echoing.
I don't think it's mine.
Is it
Somebody
mine?
mic it keeps going.
Yeah, that's
It
you,
keeps
Hugo.
I can hear stuff in the background. Just keep going. All right.
Ahí
No, no,
se fue para el
he's gonna
carajo.
fix it. He'll come back. Watch. Hugo ain't going nowhere. You know how Hugo do. Here he is. He's back. Boom.
I'm good.
So, yep, you're good. And I don't hear no echo. So what I'm saying, guys, wait a minute. Now it's back. So what I'm saying is,
Yo, mute him while you
okay,
while
okay,
you talk, Eden. Mute him
okay,
and
I
then
got it, I
unmute him
got it, I got it, I got
when
it.
you're done.
So what I'm saying, guys, is this, man. I saw the intensity in all the guys in the weigh-in, and I told you guys, it's always in a guy's eyes. When you want to look into a man's soul, you look into his eyes to see if he's really ready. Sometimes you can tell when a motherfucker's bullshitting, and he doesn't have that. I didn't see any fear in Alberto Puello's eyes, but I saw really a lot of confidence in Subriez, rightfully so. He's the
Yeah,
underdog,
yeah.
has no belt.
I noticed
So
that
I
too.
think that he had to, put that. So Alberto Puello is in that kind of demeanor where that you ever see that kind of guy that he's just calm, cool, and collective, just can't wait to kick ass. And yeah, sometimes it plays off to be, but I think that this is going to be a very highly contested fight. I'm still on the line that I think it's going to be a tough fight for both gentlemen. I think that both gentlemen are going to be in there. I think that Alberto Puello's corner is going to have to decide, just in case the night's going wrong, how
Yeah,
far
yeah,
are they willing to go. But if the night's going good, Sabria's going to take a nice little ass whooping in this defeat, because that's what's going to have to happen. It's going to have to happen like that in order for both sides. But I love this fight in so many different ways. I love it, and I don't. And I also love the possibility of a rematch, and then bring in other Dominican fighters and Puerto Rican fighters to the rematch card. Like Carlos Adames, like those Loreño brothers, and if that was to occur and we get a rematch, and bring it just brings more to Latin fighters and stuff. So I like
yeah.
it, but that would have to happen. I mean, Sobrer would have to win. And what Puello is saying in this sense, he's telling Subriel, he's telling him, listen, I'll fight you, but I want a rematch. The reason why I want a rematch is because I really believe I can beat you, but I know it's a 50-50. But you know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I believe most? You're not gonna beat me twice. That's what I
Sure,
believe. And
sure.
because of the fact you weren't a mandatory, I'm giving you an option, just like in dice. If I lose my $20, give me an opportunity to win my money back. Don't run away. Give me we were playing, we were gambling, double or nothing. Let's go. Give me a shot. I gave you a shot. Give me a shot. So if you shut me up twice, done deal.
Done deal.
Done
Yeah,
deal. That's just business.
yeah.
That's just
Business, business.
business. And
Yeah.
and and, and Alberto, I can respect him for that, because he says, listen, Subrel, you actually wasn't ranked high enough in my division. I chose you. I'm giving you the opportunity. So just in case you land that little punch, yo te voy a estudiar, we'll do it again. That's not fear. That's a man saying he will fight you not once, but twice. That's not fear. So it's just protecting your assets, protecting who you are and your championship. So that's, and I can respect that. Um, but the fight itself is very dangerous, and I want to know what each of you guys think. You know what I mean? Um, anybody want to go? Take it away. What do you think? Who do you see winning and why?
In my case, I already gave my takes on the fight. I believe Surreal's gonna put the
Mm-hmm.
pressure like he always does. He's a guy that does his thing, go forward, put the pressure, throw to the body, to the head. It's gonna be a hard night for Puello. I believe it's a 50-50 also.
Mm-hmm.
But the demeanor that Puello had today tells me that he's very confident. I don't know what it is that he has that confidence. Maybe the plan he has for the fight. I don't know the plan they prepare for the fight with Salas. Something tells me that they have something. I don't know something they know, because when you are fighting such a guy like such a dangerous guy like Subriel, you shouldn't be that confident, brother. You shouldn't be. Subriel is a guy that is a really intimidating guy. Uh, He's no joke. I see he's kind of confident, not overconfident, but he's like very confident on himself, on his skills.
Right.
So maybe there is something that they know that they're about to display in the fight, or the day of the fight, that they're kind of sure that they're gonna get the victory. So I believe Poise is gonna win by UD,
Mhm.
but it's gonna be hard.
Antonio, quick
It's gonna be
question.
hard.
Do you know if this is Sala's first camp with Puello, or they've trained
No,
before?
no, they have to be before.
I think they've
Uh,
been together.
the
Yeah,
the last fight Poyo did with Bob Santos with Agminov. After Agminov, he moved to Salas.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Well, listen, the exact what you said about Alberto Puello, you had me thinking there for a second. He's also a man that doesn't know how to lose. When you're a champion and you're at this level, in the professional level, you haven't tasted defeat. You don't know what that's like. Your
Yeah, but
confidence is like, this is just another day in the
that also can
office,
play into
right? It,
that can also can play against you also.
Well, it also plays against you, but it means that he's been here so many times. He's heard it before. Te voy a meter la mano. I'm gonna smash your. Yeah, I've heard it all the time. Come on, and time again, Puello was shutting these guys down. So as a champion, he don't know how to lose. So Brian tasted defeat. He's been humbled. He's on on a building process back, and he's as focused and determined as ever. Both of these men, none of them show me. They're like they got their own demeanor about how they're approaching the fight. But make no mistake, these guys are going in there to take each other's heads off. All right, you better believe that shit. And yep,
I think the
go ahead.
case with Puello though, with him winning a lot,
Yep.
like he does win, but also looking at Martin and Russell and even Agmadov, right? Those are pretty close fights. I know people personally that picked the other fighters to win those fights, and so I think Puello is good. He has good ring IQ. He has good length, good feet, good countering. He's pretty good with that guard he got. He got the how you say so you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
pressure
he
fighters
does.
gotta work they gotta work to get to him and he does make it hard for people. But I'm gonna say for him, right? If Puello had a little more power, I thought he would have he could have hurt Gary Antoine Russell a little more because he was landing good, clean shots. It's just
Yeah.
Puello doesn't completely sit down on it because that's his style. He wants to hit you, move, make you off balance. And the thing with Matias, he does have poor balance on that front foot. And that,
Right.
I've watched Matias in the amateur boxing days. I've seen him fight in the amateurs in Pado. Like I've seen him, grow as a fighter, and he's always had that balance problem. And it's not his fault. It's just he prefers to be on that front foot and put all the weight to transfer the weight, with his arm punches. So I think Puello is going to try to catch Matias with that hook, that check hook that Puello does when guys try to get out that door. So he's going to pivot Matias and try to catch him with the check hook. And I see the first round, people getting excited because they're going to see Puello land, and these punches are going to look clean. And people are going to be like, Matias is getting fucked up. And we've seen that before. We've seen that before with Ergashev. We've seen it
Ponce
before with
also,
Ponce.
and Ponce also. Yeah.
Ponce, Ergashev, and so Matias, he has to make his defense clean. I know it's a lot to ask because he's done it before too. He got better defensively against Ergashev. Once he took out that cross, the left cross from Ergashev, he got the defense tight. So he got to make Puello miss himself because Puello just can't go in there and be like, I got a free guy to hit. I got a free guy to score points on now. I could win these rounds. All I got to do is, pivot him, move him out the way, catch him with the hook, jab him, work the body too. So Matias has to make himself a difficult target, but then also implement his game plan of that pressure, cutting off the ring, using that swivel jab, that those different jabs that Matias uses. He got to like feint those and mix it up. He got to keep those feints like going. He got to keep Puello thinking, but don't give Puello enough time to think. Keep Puello thinking like half a second. Okay, what's the next move? Oh, you got to keep him on that pace. So I think it's
Brother,
gonna be. I think it's gonna
honestly,
be a good fight. But I think
you know
Matias.
what, brother?
Yeah, my bad. Let me finish real
Honestly,
quick.
Go
Real
ahead,
quick.
brother.
Hold up.
okay.
Yeah. So I think Matias is gonna get the stoppage only because Puello's lack of power, I think, in this fight is going to show because Matias is going to be a full 140, no rehydration. He's going to be having more weight on him. So I think Matias. I don't want Matias to take the punches like he does in fights, but I think he's going to have more weight to endure those clean shots and then walk through Puello. But we'll see. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, Antonio.
Honestly, the last part you said about that plan of Matias kind of going forward while keeping Puello like second guessing, and thinking about what he's gonna do next and all that. I believe you're asking too much to Matias. I don't think Matias is capable to do that. I don't think so. I really don't see that on him. There's a saying in the Dominican Republic, also I believe in Puerto Rico, that says
Mhm.
that an old dog can learn new tricks. You know, I
Right.
don't think Matias at this point of his career, and a fight just such an important fight for him, is gonna be able to kind of be moving like making defenses move by while going forward against a guy like Puello. I don't think so. He's gonna be do his thing, and that's it. That's one thing. Second thing I want to say is it's true that Puerto Rico's victory is very close, to decision against Martin and Ross and all that. But I don't think that victory is going to affect his confidence because when you fight a guy that you're supposed to be a tough fight. You know, when you fight a guy that is very tough, also you expect him to be to it to be a close fight. Different is when you find a guy that is supposed to be an easy fight, and then you get a split decision against a guy you're supposed to beat up to whoop his ass. So Puello got close decisions, and he should because he was fighting good, really uh, high performance guys, you know, high quality guys. So I don't think I think he's okay with it. You know, I believe he's okay with it. That doesn't affect his confidence at all. He's gonna go forward this fight, you know, like thinking he's a champion, like he's worthy of being there, that he's capable of beating anyone. It doesn't matter how close he defeated Martin or Russell. So I believe he's going
He
100%
definitely
for this
lost to
fight.
Agmedov though. That was definitely
Well, that's your opinion, and that's okay. I
no, no,
respect
no.
that. But the
It's
fact is that he
literally, yo.
won.
You could watch that fight. You could score the punches. You could score however you want. That was 112, 116 Agmedov because I seen that fight like 4 times and Puello like he has those skills, but when it comes to pressure, he does. I mean, this is before Salas too, so this is a long time ago. Which is I don't like to compare fights a long time ago, but he lost that fight.
Yeah.
That's definitely
Okay.
like I've even met like Puello fans to be like, yeah, yeah, that was not his best performance, you know. So it's
Yeah.
just, you know, I feel like yeah, like he's undefeated, but at the same time, that's like without context, you know.
Well, let me ask you a question, right? You brought up an interesting point that Matias is always throughout his career has been off balance on that front foot. Seeing him train lefty now. What if he's in his lefty and he's straightened that off balance shit and he's actually fighting in the stance that he should have been fighting his whole career, which is lefty. So if he's actually in his right, he might not have that awkward movement. But changing a fight, Antonio says something really interesting. Changing a guy at this level in the game and taking a big shot and switching him to lefty at this height at this kind of fight, uh, I'm not too sure if it works.
It's confirmed that he's
Look,
going to fight Southpaw.
No, it's
it's
not
He's
not
going to be.
confirmed,
confirmed.
but we gotta understand too that it's Matias has fought in a southpaw stance
Yeah, he
before.
has.
He did it
Yeah,
against
Yeah,
Ponce. He did it
Pedro,
against
he did
he
it.
did against Pedro
Hawkins,
Anania.
all.
like he did it a couple
So
times.
Matias,
Yeah,
yeah.
it,
A Nanyan.
yeah,
The
he's
same,
done it
bro.
a
It's not the
couple
yeah.
same.
times. Now,
Huh?
no, it's not the same. But here's the thing. Everybody's, he's been telling everybody since I just got off the phone with him. That's why I was quiet the whole time. He had called me and I was on the phone with
Oh
him.
my God. Yeah.
So, so,
Fuck.
so,
Yeah, right.
he
My God. Shit.
Spit
but
your
yo,
shit,
check it
Fredline. Spit
out.
it. Come on.
He says he's got a surprise for everybody, right? So we know it's not the southpaw stance because if it was, he wouldn't be showing it off. It wouldn't be a surprise. We all picked up on it. You know what I mean? What the surprise is after getting off the phone with him recently is expect a different. You know how everybody bets one thing's for sure that Matias always loses the first round. It's almost a guarantee.
Yeah.
Expect something different. Expect him to let his hands
All right.
go from the first bell till the fight lasts with a no
All right. Here's
mas.
the one thing that I do have to acknowledge in
I got some
Supremacy.
information for you also about it.
Can we all agree to this? By the fourth round, fifth round, these guys are looking like they've been in 12-round fights with them.
Yes.
Yo,
No,
they
yeah,
look
definitely.
rocked. And I'm looking at the guy. I'm like, what round is it? Is this like the ninth, 10th? He's like, it's fourth round. I'm like, Jesus. These guys, and it's like every single fight. Yo, I couldn't believe how fast Ponce went to shit in the second, third round after he had an amazing first, second round like that. I was like, wait a minute, Matias is in trouble. Then all of a sudden, by the fourth round, Ponce was wobbling like this. He was
Yeah,
all over
yeah.
the place. I was like, Jesus Christ. The type of damage, the accumulating of damage that he puts on these guys, he's got to catch up to Puello. I understand. Puello needs to understand that too. He has to have understood this. So, Liam Paro spun him, grabbed him, nullified his punching power. I think Subria learned from that. Makes this fight very interesting.
I mean, they were hugging each
No, no,
other. They
no.
were having a hug fest.
Liam Paro. I'm sorry. Liam Paro was having a hug fest. Subria wasn't hugging him back.
Even Matias at the end of rounds, Matias gave him a
Oh
hug.
yeah,
I was mad. Yo,
I
that
was
was the worst
there.
part of the fight.
I
Why
was
would you give a
there. I
man a
was
hug
live. I
after like
saw it. I
one?
said the same
What's
thing.
about to talk
Yo,
like
stop
that?
that boys club shit, Matias. I said, stop that boys club being nice to
You
Well,
know
him.
what? You
Come
know what?
on.
They gave him a Molly. What was he
I was
on? Was
about
he
to talk to
horny?
you
Like,
about it.
yo, he was acting weird the whole fight.
It
It looked like
didn't
he
look
didn't
like
want to
the
fight
same
nobody.
Matias. It looks like he was up last night with these rappers in Puerto Rico, and he went to home, and he just let the moment get too big for him. I don't know. That did not look like Subriel. It looked like every round, the last 10 seconds of the round, he did his best work.
Listen, listen. When it comes to Subriel's cardio and that unstoppable trainer that he is because he is, but I think that is kind of people are overreacting to his cardio, I believe. And I gotta
Okay.
tell you that. Yeah.
Why?
So Matias in 24 fights has only gone past sixth round on 6 occasions only in 24 fights. So we say, oh, that guy, his cardio is amazing. His pressure he puts on the fighters and all that. Yeah, but he had only gone past 6 rounds, so only 6 occasions in 24 fights. So you look good when you're going fourth round, fifth round, sixth round. You're still kind of fresh. But if you look at the fight against Paro, he wasn't that fresh. Look at the fight against Anayan, the first one, he wasn't that fresh. So
Well,
he's
well,
not
well,
that.
respectfully. The one against Ananya, he had admitted he was smoking, he was drinking, his life was going out of
Okay, okay,
control.
okay,
The
okay.
death was
Let's
really
discard the one.
playing him. The one with
The
Liam
Paro.
Paro, he
Yeah.
went to Puerto Rico, this and that. Now, I kind of got to give you a little pushback on that right there because maybe he didn't go the distance, but the volume and the amount of punches he put together was for a 12-round fight. He he
Absolutely, absolutely.
I,
he pushed.
I know for Dadashev and Ananya and rematch in part two. I know Matias. Like, they went to the
Yes.
11th for Dadashev, and Matias his punch output was like over 100 every like 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's one example. And then the Paro, like I give you that because in the Paro fight, Matias, his output was like bad from the beginning, but then it get better. So that's a fair point. I give you the Paro, but
But my
I
point
think it's
is,
50-50.
that
I
if the
think
fight goes long, 10, 11, 12, I don't be so sure that Matias will be so fresh. You know, I'm not 100% sure
well,
about it.
I,
yeah,
I
yeah,
say I
but
say he will.
So
I say he will because
you'll be
Puello's
so
not a
sure.
volume
You shouldn't be
puncher.
so sure that Matias will be able to finish where you between 10 and 12 because believe me, I don't think he'll be so fresh.
But Antonio, you got to understand,
I'm only
Puello's
I'm
not a volume
yeah. Go ahead.
puncher.
My bad. Go
Now
ahead.
you go, Cookie. Puello's not a volume puncher. Puello throws anywhere between 30 to 50 punches per round. That's not going to be enough to gas
Was
Matias
Paro a
out.
volume puncher before Matias?
Because
Was Paro a
yeah,
volume puncher before
Liam
Matias?
Paro threw 1,100
Paro
punches in a
wasn't a volume
fight.
puncher before Matias, and he did against
But
Matias.
he became one that night.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Puello can also. Why not?
And I'm saying for this fight, Matias can increase his cardio for this night.
Puello can do it too. In fact,
Yeah, no
he
doubt,
trained
no
for
doubt.
this.
I don't
In
think
fact,
that neither of
he
these
trained
guys'
for this.
cardio is going to come into effect. I think it's going to come
I,
down to durability and toughness. I've always said it.
And
I've always
cojones.
said it. Matias is gonna might have to take one of the worstest ass whoopings he probably ever endured.
Yo, I'm not sure if Puello got like that because he could take Matias's because I know Matias don't got one punch power, but yo, his punching is it
Yeah,
paralyzes you. Your legs. There's a reason why guys after the fifth round they're not moving a lot. Even Paro, he was gonna
yeah.
quit. He was
In
gonna
the
say no
sixth round.
mas
Yep.
in rounds. So it's like that's real. And my sparring partner Ishmael Villarreal, he's Dominican
Right.
and Ecuadorian. He fought Kalen Wash and a few guys. He's a 154 fighter.
Yep.
He's my sparring partner, right? He went to Puerto Rico to spar Matias, and he told me that when you spar Matias, your legs go out. You don't feel your legs, and it's not because he's going to your body. It's because he has
He
the
hit
The
different.
he's
debilitating
yeah
power.
yeah. It's not the hit punches. Is the way he recoils like that punch when he brings it back,
Well,
he's already in position to give another one, and he's doing like 7, 8 punches, so it's not 1, 2. So if Puello throws and he moves, all right, he'll pivot, do all that. But Matias is coming back. He's coming back with that jab that goes straight forward, and there's going to be combinations coming with it. So Puello's punch output has to be high.
Well,
And I'm sure I'm not saying he can't do it. He could do it, but he has to risk himself because if it's the punch, if it's high, he's going to be exchanging with Matias too. So that's the risk he's going to take, and that's just being realistic.
well, prime
Right.
example is Ergashev. He lost signal. He lost signal to his leg.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
He couldn't.
yeah.
He said he couldn't feel his knee. That's why he quit.
Gentlemen,
Didn't Puello have a leg injury like a
gentlemen,
year ago?
take over in the conversation. I gotta help my wife with the groceries real quick. Front line, you guys, keep it classy.
Dale.
All right.
Didn't Puello have a leg
Yeah,
injury from
for Martin, for
when was
Martin.
it?
For Martin, I think it
Okay,
was his
because I
No, no,
Achilles
no.
heel or something like that.
It was
yeah. So
el músculo derecho, the right leg. Uh, he had
okay, okay.
a slightly torn his right leg tendon.
Because that takes a while to fully heal. Because I work
Yeah,
in
yeah,
physical therapy, so I work with people
kind
that
of. It was like lightly, nothing serious. Uh, but it was
yeah,
torn tendon like from his right leg.
yeah. But but sometimes even those like when they get healed, like there's acute injuries that happen after. So when that gets hurt, there's other muscles that get affected by it as it recovers. So I'm just saying, like I'm sure he's on. Like he wouldn't take the fight if he's not 100%. Puello is 100%. I'm not saying he's injured, but in a fight like this, Matias is going to be doing damage.
Yeah.
Even if he loses, Puello could win 6 rounds in a row. He could win the first 6 rounds, but Matias is still going to go with that
Brother, with
accumulating
Matias, you never
damage.
know. You never
It's
know
going
with
to
Matias.
be
The guy is a train. It's true. It's a train. But what I'm saying is, I don't believe he's gonna be so fresh against Puello. Puello is we say in Spanish, operador con maña, un tipo que tiene mucha maña. With I don't know how to say it in English the word savvy. He's so savvy, in the ring. All the things he does.
like.
He knows how to tire you also. Puello is a boxer with a lot of savviness in the ring. So
No, no, yeah, he has a lot of
yeah.
dimensions. He's not just a boxer; he could fight too. Also, like I mentioned before, Puello, he has good feet for a tall guy. For a tall guy, he's very pivoting. He's always in angles,
Yeah.
and that's what he does. So that's his advantage because Matias, I mentioned, the balance is not good. I just think as the rounds go later on, I think Puello is gonna he's not gonna like he's not gonna like what he feels, and I think that's gonna show in the fight. And I think Matias, right? Matias is not a better boxer than Gary Antoine Russell. I'll tell you, Gary Antoine Russell is a better boxer than Matias, but Matias is a better fighter. Matias is not gonna give Puello that chance to be like, you know what? I'm gonna let you go around 30 seconds, think about this and think about, Matias he's gonna go obviously, but uh, for him, I think he has to be a little more, how you say, sophisticated about his
Yeah,
All
pressure.
right.
because
All right.
I believe Russell is a pressure fighter also, but from the mid distance, and Matias is a pressure fighter from the close distance. Because
Right.
Russell kind of thinks twice before throwing his hands. He's kind of looking for the opening. And Matias is not looking for the opening. He creates it. He creates the
Right.
opening because he's looking all the time
Yeah.
throwing punches at you to break you down to find the opening. But Russell is looking for that opening for that mistake you made. And Matias doesn't.
I'm gonna read what Bang Bang Boogie said. He said those guys stood in front of Subriel. Puello is not standing there, and if he does, bendito. And then JM said Theo ducked the fight with Matias. The boxing outcome said 100%. Richard, he said, let's see if Puello resists the pressure of Subriel Matias. I give him to the 8th round. JMD said Puello's going down. And Bang Bang said you get more tired from fighting off your back foot than you do
Yeah,
going
it's true.
forward.
It's true.
And Boxing Outcome said, I'm just happy we boxing fans are winning this Saturday. I'm happy that these fighters are not on
But you
PED.
know
Ah,
what?
yeah.
Hey, boxing
The same
outcome. Yes,
way.
the fight with Morrell is still on. It is
Yes.
still going to happen.
Yes.
The same way you get tired or more tired when you fighting on your back foot. The same way you will also get more tired when you will get clinched, when you want to get free. The one
Mm-hmm.
that wants to get free get more tired than the one that's holding. So I believe that also is gonna play a big factor when a player uses his clinch, and I believe he's gonna use it a lot because that's the only way you can beat Matias
Well,
by
here's
disrupting
the
his rhythm.
the question's gonna be throughout the fight. Can Puello outsmart Matias pressure and traps? because as much as Subriel is a one-dimensional fighter, the way he applies his pressure, he kind of makes you go in the direction that he wants you to go. Whether
Mhm.
it's to the ropes, whether it's to the corner, whatever his trap is, he leads you to it. He doesn't, set it up and he leads you, he
Well,
forces you into that trap.
I think what Matias is gonna do in this situation, he's gonna want to exchange punches with Alberto Puello. He's already gonna anticipate he's gonna get hit. He knows that Alberto Puello is gonna open up with his combination, his signature one. He's gonna go down, and I think in those moments he's gonna sit down on just one or two particular punches and try to land them throughout the rounds. I think Matias is willing to exchange, but which punch is he willing to exchange with Alberto? Because you gotta be careful with La Bipa here, man. Um, he's crafty. And Sabriel has been hurt before. He's a human. He's not a machine. He's a human. So
Many times, many times.
anybody can be hurt. And it's the
Yeah,
shot that you don't see that really hurts you. Okay. So I think that that's where Matias is gonna live. He's gonna live in the exchange. That's where he's gonna make his money. He's gonna say, "Okay, Tommy dame, and let's see if you can take what I." And that's where he wants to be now. Whether or not Alberto Puello has enough to back up Subriel and his footwork is good. Look,
yeah,
there is a scenario where he outboxes Matias. Yes, there is 100%. There
yeah.
is.
There is, there
There
is.
is a scenario where Matias shuts him down and brutalizes him. And there's another scenario where both learn from each other round by round and they make adjustments and we see a spectacular fight. Okay?
Yeah,
Each fighter outsmarting or coming up. Expect to see Alberto lose a round, Matias lose a round, Alberto lose one, Matias wins one, Alberto wins one,
yeah,
etc. You know what I mean? It could go
yeah.
back and forth, and it could be a fight that goes down to who makes the right adjustments at the right time and who wants it more. There's one
Yo,
thing
Yeah.
I've always said: I
I
cannot measure
wonder.
this.
I wonder how effective will be Poito's body work through the first 5 rounds because
That's
he
what
does
I'm
work to
curious.
the body really good. And while
Okay,
he's fresh, he had to take advantage of it, working the body because
right.
Real after the 6 round is gonna be, all over it, all over Puello. So Puello have to work really early on his
Right.
body, on Matias' body. It's gonna be really, really important for the
Mhm.
fight also.
yeah, yo. Before I go, guys, because I got to make a
Let's
phone call, but I'm gonna give a shout out to Antonio, Frontline, where I'm on. You guys are great, yo, and everybody
thank
hit
you.
the like and subscribe. I'm gonna just make my final point, right? So
Uh-huh.
remember in the power fight how important the clinching, the hugging, like how important that was a factor in the fight. So before I go, I want to ask everybody here, Edwin, Antonio, Frontline. I want to ask you guys: do you see Puello's tendency, like in the clinch, and Matias too himself? Because I think
Yeah,
Matias in the clinch, if you watch the Ergashev fight, Ergashev is a southpaw. When Matias clinched him, Matias was punching in the clinch, and those punches applied damage to Ergashev to the body and the head, and that made Ergashev slow down. And I think Puello, if Puello wants to win this fight, he has to outbox Matias and be smart, obviously, right? But I think he has to avoid the clinch because I'm gonna say this right before I go. I want to ask you guys this:
yeah,
I think Paro is more a better inside fighter than Puello. Puello is more better on the outside, in my opinion. So I think Paro was able to capitalize on the clinch, those clinch moments, and Matias, he was not responding well to that. So I'm gonna ask you guys: do you think this is gonna be a fight where the clinches are gonna be there, in round, or is gonna be a clean, Puello keeping the distance and Matias struggling to get on the outside? Yo, guys, have a good night
All
and
right.
take care. Cuídase.
All
Cookie,
right. All
suave,
right,
papi.
brother.
gracias, hermano.
Well, I think let me answer this first. I think that um Alberto Puello he has too much machismo and too much pride and to the point where that he's gonna resort just to clinching. I think he'll use it when he needs to, but he's not a clincher. Alberto Puello. Alberto Puello is a man's fighter. He's gonna want to show you, no, yo le metí la mano. That's Alberto Puello's never been the kind of fighter that I've ever watched him, and he's clinching guys. As far as you saying that Matias is better, I mean Alberto Puello is better on the inside and Matias on the outside. Well, I think got it a little bit because I think Matias is better
Yeah.
not on the outside, but
Yeah.
mid range.
Yeah.
You know, and then uh I think that Alberto Puello he's slick in the inside. He's real slick. He'll snap your head back with that uppercut and that them good body shots. Now the one thing that I was wondering and I was watching with Subriel, yo, he was using a lot in his training that check hook. I was watching it and I was like, wow, he's raising his elbow a little bit more than usual. He usually throws it from the hip. He usually snaps it like this and he usually slaps it down. He kind of slaps his punches down like bow like that. And I
Like
saw in
Puello.
his training videos he was
Puello.
snapping it like this.
Or Matias. Puello or Matias.
Matías,
Okay.
Matías.
Okay.
Matías
Okay.
la tira de aquí,
Yeah. Yeah.
él
Yeah. From
pone
the
los
shoulder.
codos
Yeah.
aquí, así, y él
Yeah.
lo tira así, 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 y lo tira así. Pero
See.
entonces
See.
I was watching him in his training, and he was throwing the hook like this. And I was like, I was like, okay, okay. Just food for thought, interesting things. Don't know if any of these weapons or tactics will be effective. That's something I have to see. But yeah, I think that Berto Puello is better in the inside. I think he's a little bit slicker, but it's dangerous fighting a fight like this. And the more that I keep revisiting this fight, I keep flip flopping because this is that those moments in boxing that we say we want to see the best fighting the best. Well, here it
Yeah.
is. Here it is.
You know,
He's
I also believe that. Excuse me, sorry.
yep.
I also believe that Pato wasn't really fighting Matias on the inside. He was just disrupting Matias' rhythm, by clinching, but he wasn't really fighting in the inside. He was disrupting Matias, clinching Matias, hugging Matias, then going back, throwing the 1-2, the 1-2, then a lot of, some jabs, and then the 1-2 again. He was kind of disrupting Matias, not fighting really on the inside.
Yeah, he made it look so simple that it frustrated me as a
Yeah,
fan.
yeah, yeah,
That I just said, I think Matias was gonna give us more than that. I mean, even the announcers when I went back the next day and watched it, and I heard what the announcers were saying, I had to agree. Matias didn't have that tensity, and neither did Panda, his trainer in the corner. Panda act like he was winning the whole fight. I didn't get that. I didn't see that sense of urgency, and I really didn't see Matias show up in the way that it was just Liam Paro beat him with the basics. That
yeah.
got a
It
lot
was
of people
very
thinking,
basic, very basic. It was,
why
yeah.
the hell do we think that Matias can beat Alberto Puello if this guy beat him with just the basics? And I'm
Basics.
on the line. I'm on the line. I'll stand on this. Every fighter is due for that one look lasted performance that you should or be able to look past that and say, I'm not going to hold you to that performance. I know you're better than that. And the fighter come out and show you, yeah, I was on my bullshit, but I'm back. We've seen that time and time again. Or
Yeah,
we've seen the fighter get exposed. And the fighter said, so Biet was just fighting these guys looking good. And when
yeah,
you put a
exactly.
real boxer in front of him, this is what's going
Look
to
what happened.
happen.
Yeah, yeah,
This is the fight that's going to determine that. It
yeah,
pulls the cover. Matias is Puerto Rican. I love him and everything. But fighting, the art of fighting, it's the truth. Are you that guy? Or were you that Booker man? Or is it that they put a fighter in front of you, a boxer in front of you, and you fall apart? Let's see. And that's where we're at. And that's what makes it so fucking exciting. Because
Here's where
I
I'm at with it.
believe in Matias. I
He-
believe in him.
Here's where I'm
yeah,
at with it. It's like you said, you were there personally for the Matias and Pato fight in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
That being said, you saw behind the scenes what a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us that weren't there didn't see.
Right. Right.
You saw Osuriel partying,
Yes.
unfocused,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
I
on and
never
so
said
forth.
anything.
No,
Yeah.
I know.
I know.
There's no excuses. We're not putting excuses. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. The same thing with the Ananyan one. We saw an unfocused, undedicated Suriel.
Yes.
But we also see what a dedicated and a focused Matias will
Correct.
do. So that being said, a focused dedicated Matias, you know he wins by no mas. It's proven.
Mm,
It's in his record.
five straight in a row.
A
Yeah, but but
unfocused, an un how can I explain it? An
Four of
unfocused.
those fighters were undefeated that he made no mas. Out of the five, four of them were undefeated, right?
No, I
I
think
think.
five were all
Ponce,
five were
No,
undefeated.
Ergachev, Ponce,
no,
Ergachev,
one of
and
them was defeated.
Chef.
One of them had a
Oh,
loss.
you're gonna make me
Come
look it
here.
up now.
I You're gonna have to look it up because I'm telling you right now, one of them had a loss. I have a pretty good memory. Sometimes it's be fucked up. I'd be thinking, but I think I'm right on this one.
Yeah,
Out of the
right. If I ask
five,
you about anyway, you'll fucking remember every fucking thing,
oh, you
right?
know I will. You know I will.
All right. So Ergashev undefeated, Ponce undefeated. Then he had a break with the Pedros Ananian 2. And at the time, Pedros Anania was 16-2. Then
See,
he had Jukembayev that was undefeated and Malik
undefeated.
Hawkins that
Malik
was
Hawkins was
undefeated.
also undefeated.
So
Yeah,
one,
he,
two, three, four, five.
I
Well,
told
four.
you,
Four.
we're
Four. And then he fought
undefeated. I was
Pato.
right.
Pato was five and he lost UD to Pato.
I was right. Then I was right. So, but and I'm just saying,
And then before that, Data Chef, rest in peace.
yeah, and when you got undefeated fighters to make them quit, listen, you got to understand what just happened. I made you say uncle. I made you say uncle. I made you a undefeated fighter. Can't coming in. I'm gonna fuck up Super blah blah blah. And he said, I can't go no more, bro. My brain is rattling. And some of them told the referee and made it look good, and the judge and the and the medic, he called it off for the corner. Either way, they knew that their fighter couldn't go no further. When Pedro Hernandez got dropped in that round, went back to his corner, he never came back. And Pedro Hernandez was the one that allegedly took away Matias's undefeated record. And still, let's keep this in mind, guys. It's crazy, right, to think of this. Matias has two losses, and he's coming into this fight against Alberto Puello with 100% knockout ratio. You do know that, right?
Yeah,
Everybody either he knocks you out or he loses.
yeah,
So he has 100% knockout ratio coming into the Alberto Puello fight. Just, I'm just throwing that out there. These are just
yeah.
facts.
But with all due respect, bro,
Yep.
Matias is a special fighter because the cojones that it takes to fight the way he does,
Oh,
the determination he has,
yeah, I
is not
know,
for
right?
anybody. That's for Manx. There is no fighter, just a fighter can be out there doing what he does. It takes cojones. And but with all due respect,
Yep.
the fighters he made quit, you know, even though it is very very difficult or let's say special to do it because there are fighters, brother. They're not just random people. There is a lot of pride involved in boxing. Boxing is a sport of
Oh, yeah.
pride,
Yep.
and it's very difficult for a fighter to quit on his tool. I
Mm,
can imagine the feeling they have inside them. When they
right.
say, I can't go further, let's quit. It should be really, 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 a hard moment for them. But
Right.
those guys, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm wrong, you please correct me. None of these guys that were undefeated had a marquee fight before Matias, like not a signature fight or opponent they defeated that made them like, hey, this guy's good. Only because of the projection of the talent they had that they were projected to be. But none of them had a fight that made them like, hey, this guy is special.
Well, well,
No.
well, if you're viewing it like that, right, then you
We
have
could
to
say the same
also
thing about
view.
Puello.
You could say no, wait. You could say the same thing about Matias. You have to understand that Matias was also a young fighter in his own right. Those were the fighters on their level to prove who was the best out of them to move to the next level. You can't just consider Matias a superstar because you're viewing him like that right now and saying that when he fought them then, they weren't no marquee fighters. In actuality, they were on the same level. They were trying to separate themselves to prove
Yeah,
who is the next one going to the next level. And Sabria
okay,
came out
okay.
on top.
Absolutely, absolutely. But what I'm saying is that I don't know. Those guys, in my opinion, were in. I don't know how to say it because I don't want to be disrespectful to Matias. But
Right.
those guys, I don't think they were special. The most special out of the ones him and Quid, and who I believe was really good and is really a good fighter, I believe, was Yukembayev. But
Yeah.
Yukembayev, I believe, had um uh the wrong plan, for
Yeah.
Matias
Mhm.
because he was so athletic and he was so fast on his feet also. But
Yeah.
he instead of kind of boxing a little bit with Matias, he decided to go forward and to fight
Yeah.
Matias, and he didn't take
That's
advantage of it
machismo.
because
Well,
Machismo.
yeah,
Some
yeah,
no, no,
yeah.
no, 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 no. If you look at that Dukembe fight, he had no choice but to strap his balls tight and
Yeah, but
fight.
didn't he pop his knee or something? And that's why he said allegedly,
Nah,
you know,
nah, I don't
I
think
found
so.
it
No,
funny que le metió un puño en la cara and his
that
knee
That's
twerked,
bullshit. That's
right?
bullshit.
no,
That's
that's
bullshit. That's
Right?
bullshit.
Ergashev. That's
He quit.
Ergashev.
That's it. He quit. That's it.
Yeah.
You're talking about Ergashev,
I'm
Edwin.
sorry, Yurgashef.
No, no,
Yes.
no, 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 no.
No,
Yeah, but you can't buy it. I
yeah,
don't think
Dukembe.
Matias. I don't think
Yeah.
Matias pushed him to fight him. I think Yukebayev was willing to fight Matias. From
Yeah.
the first round, it was clear that he was willing to fight Matias. It was clear.
Okay. Okay.
I believe
Now,
he being so athletic because he has also power, but he's so athletic.
right.
He could have busted a little bit more, and he decided to
Okay.
go forward and fight Matias. And you can't beat Matias that way. Nobody can beat Matias that way. Nobody.
Right. But we didn't know that then about Matias. We got to remember that when these guys went in there, they were saying the same thing they're saying about him today. He's a one dimensional fighter. He doesn't belong with boxers. Let me get in the ring. I'm undefeated. I'm going to stop this hype train. Matias became the boogeyman by defeating these guys.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
true.
legend of Matias, where that he became high risk, low reward because at the time he didn't have a belt. And then when these guys were saying, "Oh, you guys are all saying Juke Baye, Pedro Ananias, Ponce, you guys were all saying the same thing. Oh no, Matias is one dimensional. So Matias is not that guy. He's not
Yeah,
him. And
yeah.
every single time he proved them all wrong. So that's why Matias is who he is today. That's why he's considered a threat because he had to separate himself from the rest of the competition. You know what I mean? And as far as 140-pound champions, it's no secret that Richard Hitchens ducked Matias for a reason, because like I always said, the coaches got to think about their fighter and the health of their fighter and what it takes to fight a brutal fighter like Subir Matias. What is it going to take and at what cost to defeat him? Even if you win in a victory against a fighter like Sabria Matias, at what cost? Are you going to get your fighter the same way he went in the ring? You might sacrifice too much just to beat him. Just to beat him. So he's very dangerous if you can't get him out of there early. You can't leave a man like Sabria around too long. He's a bludgeon fighter and he's gonna rattle your brain, bro. Unfortunately, Max Duracek paid the ultimate price, and we seen his
Gotcha.
punching power on
Gotcha.
full display. Davicek, I'm sorry, I didn't want to mess up his name. Um,
Darashev.
Dadashev, yes, and it just proves to his punching power that is debilitating. Sabria Matias. So, look, I wish Alberto Puerto all the luck in the world. May the best man win, but I understand the risk. This is not tennis. This is not basketball. This is a
Yeah.
sport that at the end you will pay for some of your fights. And you must think longevity.
You don't play
Okay?
boxing?
Huh? You don't play boxing. That's right, brother.
Yeah.
That's right,
Yeah.
brother. You
Yeah.
don't play boxing.
I
So
mean,
that
shit. Look at Katie Taylor right now. The way her speech
oh
is
yeah.
off.
You look at Roberto Duran, look at Sugar Ray Leonard, look at these guys. And as we all know in boxing gyms all over the world, the boxers that pay the ultimate price are the boxers that are cutting weight. The heavyweights never cut weight. That's why Mike
Yeah,
Tyson still speaks well. That's why
yeah,
George Foreman spoke well all the way until, you know, and he was selling grills because they
yeah.
don't cut weight. They don't make the ultimate sacrifice. The ones that pay the ultimate sacrifice are all the fighters that cut weight. So these fighters sometimes we want them. Oh, we want the best fighting the best, the best. That's not reality. If you fight the best fighting the best fight, you're gonna have a short career. You need to
Yeah.
fight one great fight, a couple fights, and
Yeah.
then another great fight. You can't do. We're human. We weren't designed to take punches to the face.
Well, if you leave it
Totally
up to
agree.
Turkey, he'll
Totally agree.
retire you in 3 fights.
I know, but Turkey will retire your ass in three
Yeah.
fights. He's
Hey,
using it like the MAA.
and,
You know what I mean?
and he'll have those 3 fights
That
already scheduled for you.
Already scheduled.
Yeah, that's what I don't take on boxers that sometimes quote unquote dog some of the boxers because remember, boxing is a short career. There are some fighters that are lucky enough to be in this business for a long time, but there is not the norm,
Right,
not the standard. There is a short career. Maybe you have a
right.
lapse of 4 to 5 fights in order to make your money and be out.
Yep,
So sometimes you gotta take it easy, take a hard fight, then take 1 or 2 fight, make good money, then take another challenge, then take 1 or 2 fight also like easy fights, make a good money, then take another one because it is bro, this sport is tough. This sport is tough.
it is tough. And then learning as some of these young fighters coming on to money. Antonio, Frontline, you guys are men. I'm pretty sure you guys came across some money. You messed it up young in your life, and you said, if
Yeah.
I ever had a chance to get that money back, and lo and behold, it happened to me, and I messed it up again. But and it just a lot of life curves that we have to like, you know, um learn to live with as fighters. So, we mess up things at times and stuff, and then we got to come back in our 40s and fight. Manny Pacquiao got to fight Mario Barrio because he blew through $120 million.
Yeah,
Like,
that's it.
so it's tough sometimes. This sport is brutal. It takes a lot from you. How you doing, boxing outcome? What's up, man? How you doing,
What's
brother?
up? What's going on? Yo, I had to jump in because Frontline funny and shit. Hey, Turkey will fucking make sure he separate the casket and the funeral.
Hey,
The
hold
cemetery,
on, hold
everything.
on.
He'll pay the whole thing.
I gotta commend Boxing Outcome. Yo, you guys, if you guys are listening in the chat, y'all go to the Boxing Outcome and go subscribe. So
Mhm.
he went live today. We there to support him. He's a growing channel. He's only got like I don't know 16, 17 subscribers. Let's go help him out.
Yeah.
But to your point, Boxing Outcome, I commend you because in the chat earlier you said I would love to come on, but I can't because I'm chilling with my girl. And here you are. You put your girl to the side and you put boxing first.
Boxing first. No,
Brother, I'm not gonna lie. This channel is becoming my favorite one, or one of the top two, because
thank you.
you guys are kind of you're fair.
Yeah.
You have your guy and you support your guy, but you're not like mad crazy on your guy. Like you have your
Right.
reason. Use
Oh, no,
reason.
no, 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 no. Don't get it
Reasonable, right,
twisted, Antonio.
right.
We're biased as fuck here.
No, no, no,
But
no. I said it because you support your guy, but at the same time we can talk boxing, because there are some
yes,
Yes.
people
yes.
that you can talk
Yes.
boxing because they're so biased that you can talk boxing. And here
No,
we
No.
we're
are
we're we're
debating
realist here.
the
Yeah.
way it
No,
should be.
I can there's channels that I understand what you're saying, Antonio. These guys just won't accept anybody's opinion or value what's real and try to just have a sensible conversation. You know, um I'm not trying to change your mind like you're not trying to change mine, but we're just sharing our opinions, and I try to build a safe platform where people can actually come talk boxing. And I like when you guys come up here and share what you really think. Don't hold back on it. Just share, but with respect, because I'm not going to try to attack you. What I want you to do is really support the other side. You know why I value this? Because I'm tired of this one thing that happens in boxing, and I want to know what you guys think about this. I'm tired of this one narrative that no sooner that guy beats him, that other guy was a tomato guy can, a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
nobody. Let's give both sides respect. So if Subir was to lose, brother, give Alberto Puello all the respect in the world. He beat the boogeyman. He beat a former world champion. He beat the legend of Subriel Matias. And let's give him credit for that. And if Alberto Puello falls, he was a WBC world champion and he defended it against formidable opponents. Okay. And
Yeah.
let's give it credit where credit's due. I am tired of this knocking down these fighters, and just because they lose, that now they weren't all that great. Okay. No, Sean Porter was good when he fought Terrence Crawford. I don't care. He lost, he lost. Okay, but give Terrence Crawford his props. He beat Sean Porter, whether he was old or not. Fuck it, he beat him. You
So
know
wait,
what?
wait, wait, wait. Are you gonna give Manny Pacquiao credit for fighting Barrios?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And you want to know what too? I have to give him credit. You know why? Because I'm gonna give Hector Camacho credit for beating Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
You're damn right I am. All right? He beat him. And he was the first person to knock down Sugar Ray Leonard in his entire career. The
No,
first.
no me grite.
You know what I'm saying? So there's no way I'm going to allow these guys to diminish these guys' accomplishments. Man, fuck that. These guys work too hard, bro. I love boxing and I know what it takes. I can respect the man going in there getting punched and taking the chance of being knocked out in front of his friends and family on a world stage. You know how much balls that takes?
Yeah.
Man, don't discredit none of these fighters. Because
Hey,
I
Richard.
believe,
Oh, go ahead.
yo,
Go
what's
ahead.
up? What's up with
No,
Richard?
Richard. The ring's gonna be 20 by 20. It's already
20 by 20.
all that shit that with the
That's
shrinking
rumors.
rim. That's all rumors. That's all
Rumors.
bullshit.
It's
Because I
confirmed.
talked to my guy that's there right now, Jose. He's there on site with the ring. It's 20 by 20.
Frontline, that's confirmed.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Turkey's
confirmed.
just trolling on
20
the
by
internet.
20 is confirmed.
No,
Okay.
I'm telling you, Armando. I mean, Antonio. I'm sorry. I call him Armando. Antonio.
no,
My boy is there right now. He's
no, no.
covering the event, the press conference, and he's seen the ring. It's
Oh, okay,
20
okay,
by
okay.
20. It's
Okay, 20
20
by
by
20.
20.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
okay.
Yeah,
confirmed. 20 by 20. They were trying
it's
to get it
confirmed.
18 by 18, but it
He
was
told
too
me this
late. The
morning
contracts were already
on
signed.
a text. Yeah, he told me this morning on a text. He's boom, boom, boom. No, 20 by 20. I said, all right, cool. Because I wanted to know. And then they started saying some retractable ring
Well,
where they're like,
they're working on that now for future fights.
oh yeah, but a front line. Who the fuck is holding the button for the retractable? Who's saying, you know what? Esto están cogiendo mucho. Beep, make it slow. Who's pressing the button?
Turkey's gonna have the button.
Right?
Yo, that shit, it's a
I
cool
don't know
concept.
about that. Come
It's a
on.
cool
People are gonna feel
concept,
like,
but yo,
I like it.
Turkey's changing boxing completely, bro.
bueno.
Like
Now
he's
decirte una
making this
cosa.
shit into like a WWF or
No, no, no,
WWE
no, no,
type
no, no,
shit.
That's
no,
what
no,
I
no,
like.
no.
That's what I don't
No, no, no,
like.
no.
That's what I don't like.
No. Wait. Let me ask you guys a question. Let's just think about this. You guys are a billionaire. You're the billionaire. You're trying to break into a sport and you're overpaying these fighters and you're overpaying big names because you believe these big names are the best. So you go ahead and you pay the big names outrageous amount of money. And what do you get for all your money? A dud, criticism it's your fault that the dud happened. And all you try to do was put together big names. So you went and got all these big names, all your Ryan Garcias and your Devin Haney's and your Tios, and they went for all the money you spent. Would you be mad? Would you be mad? Would you want to get at least your money's worth? You're not making a dime back in profit. Let's just be honest. Turkey ain't made a dime in none of his fights. So he's
Yeah.
not doing it for the money. He's doing it for entertainment. He's paying out all these money, changing these lives, and he's not getting nothing in return.
Yeah,
He's
but
not getting
Edwin,
blood. He's not he's not getting blood. He's not getting knockouts. And he's also getting out talked by a fucking 5'5" Japanese guy that stole the weekend in Las Vegas. So for all your money and the fight that you did not invest in, they had the bigger fight.
But that's his mistake, man. It's like
That's
you
not a
can't.
mistake by him. It's a
No,
mistake
by
by
him
the.
is not. But what I'm saying is like you can't
Yeah, it is his
believe the
mistake.
smoke
You're
and
right.
mirrors.
It's up to
You're
him.
right.
I mean.
the
It's
smoke and
his
mirrors.
mistake.
Like just because these people got a following on social media and everything, he shouldn't be paying out 20 million. Like Ryan Garcia shouldn't. He's never been a world champion. Why
Right.
he got
It
20
is his
million?
mistake. I take that back. It is his mistake. You know why? You know why it's his mistake? Because he paid the fighters before they got in the ring. They already had the money in the bag. Why go out there and kill myself? I already got paid.
But here's the thing.
It's
Why
like
I
somebody
say,
working hard on your house and you paying them at lunchtime.
The
I
the
bet you they
smartest person.
disappear.
You know what I
The, s-
believe? Round one, for now on, boxing contracts or fight contracts should be packed with bonus clauses. If you
Yes.
do this, you get this.
Yes.
You did that, you get that. I believe from
Yes.
now on, it should be packed with bonus clauses.
well, look at what
And that's
MVP's doing, and
for me, that's a solution for me. That is a
I
MVP's
solution.
think
doing
it
that with
is.
the Amanda Serrano card. The best performance of the night gets $250,000
they
I
extra.
think that's
they did that on the
beautiful.
last one too.
For
I think
example,
that's beautiful.
if you get a KO before the six, you get a 100,000 or 200,000. If you get a KO
Well,
before the after the six or the seven, for example, you get 100,000. If
when
you knock
MVP,
out in the first round, you get 1 million. If you KO in the second round, you get 300,000, for example.
well
But
That's
on
it.
on MVP most valuable prospects,
Yep.
they do the same thing. They because these are prospects coming up, so he wants to make it entertaining. If you get a knockout, a first round knockout, you get an extra like $2,000.
Yeah.
If you get a knockout during the fight, you get an extra $1,000, and then at the end of the night, the best performance gets an extra $5,000.
So let me tell you guys, how do you guys feel about them putting the score on the scoreboard by round, putting it up? What do you
I
Uh,
think?
would
I
Do you
love
think
that.
you
I
should put
would
it
nah,
love that.
I don't I
the
don't think
entire
that would
fight?
be good.
You think they should put the entire fight, or like some people
No,
suggested, maybe
th-
around the eighth fight, you don't show it to the fighters, but you show it to the fans.
based on the
I
rules. Based on the rules. Remember back in the day, they would tell us, if the fight doesn't pass a certain round and it's stopped, it goes to a no contest or something like that. Wasn't that like I forgot what rule? The stop. I forgot what
Well,
because
if you get a
back in
cut,
HBO.
if you get a cut before the fourth round, you can go to the scorecards. If it's deemed like a headbutt, it'll become like a no contest sometimes because it was they're saying like you excessively punched down to the balls or something. They gave you warnings, took a point, then it becomes a no contest, disqualification type shit. There's fights that have been gone down in history like that. So yeah,
Well,
but
here's my thought process about the scorecards being
red,
exposed.
right,
Yes,
right,
there's three ways you can look at it.
okay,
The first way is you might get a more exciting fight because if the fighter that's losing looks at the card, he's going to work harder to turn the fight around. The
right.
second way is there's no cheating, meaning the judges can't write something down and then their favorite fighter's losing and they can't go back and change whatever. Um, yeah, I said three. It's actually two. But yeah, I mean they do that. I forgot where they do it at. I think it's in Riyadh or UK somewhere. They do the open scorecards like that and they announce it every round. So it could be a
I,
good thing. It
I
could be
think
a
that's a
bad thing.
good
I don't.
idea.
I believe that system will never work because of a red line that is very, very, very dangerous, and it is the betting system because there are bets that goes on while the fight is taking place. And those bets, we know how much money it is involved in bets. We'll go through because if you're looking at the scorecards, uh, those bets that take place while the fight is taking place wouldn't be uh, in play anymore, for example. And that will affect a lot the betting and all that while the fight is taking place. And also, it kind of also takes away uh, 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 the segment of not knowing who's gonna win. Because the fighter is already winning by 4 points and there's only two rounds left, or only one round left. Sometimes the fight is close, and maybe one fighter won 3 or 4 rounds away either way.
They're gonna go either way. But maybe that you believe the fighter or the fighter is a draw, but in reality, the fighter that is winning 3 or 4 rounds, for example, I don't know. I believe it takes away some kind of excitement of the fight because you know what is already happening and you know the outcome what will be.
Well, yeah, yeah. Frontline, what you got to say about that? Frontline, where you at? Hmm?
So the thing is though, like if a fighter knows that they're losing, we're gonna see two things, right? We're gonna see either they don't want to go back out there and really put an effort into winning the fight, really gonna try to win every round that they can. Like
Right.
I think it's a good idea. I
Well,
because
okay.
it lets the fighter in the
But
corner
also the
know
one is ahead can
how
play
the rounds
safe.
are
Or you
going.
know,
So
Yeah. Antonio, how about this? How about this? You know how throughout the course of history, we've always seen the unofficial scorecard. That has always been in boxing. It has not been a scorecard that was official, but what if we throw the official one up for the people at home that are tuning in? If you don't show the boxers the
okay,
official, you see what I'm saying? And you just let
okay,
them fight, but you're giving us the real official scorecard. I don't think it changes anything in boxing because lo and behold, there's a lot of people that thought that that scorecard was always real. You know, casuals
you
all
know.
over the world always saw. Yeah, I saw it round by round. He was winning this round. It said it right on the bottom. They'll argue to the death of what they saw.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's always been something that was in boxing. By just changing it to the official scorecard, I think it doesn't change anything for us viewing it. Now in the fight, maybe you're right. Maybe, I never know, if the guy's like, yo, but it could also mean that you need to sell out. Listen, you're losing 8 rounds here, kid. You got to sell out, bite down on the mouthpiece. You need a
Yeah,
knockdown.
but also the guy that is ahead could play safe, you know, and that
Right, right. Oh,
also
yeah, yeah, yeah.
could be
I think that happens regardless. You can feel that you're winning the fight and guys start running, like just like Oscar thought he had the fight in the bag with Felix Trinidad and he ran
yeah,
the
yeah,
last 3 rounds and he
yeah.
lost. You see what I'm
But
saying?
sometimes you feel like you're ahead, but sometimes you have the
Yeah.
doubt. You know,
Well, well, some,
am
well,
I ahead?
well.
But when you see I'm comfortably ahead, you will run because you know
Yep.
I'm already win.
Right. Yeah,
So
well, it's up to you. I did all the job. I've been whooping your ass. That's what this means. I'm
well,
comfortably ahead. It's up to you to bring the fight now. I already did my part. Let's see if you could take the fight away from me if I want to be comfortable or not. But I bet you if Oscar De La Hoya knew he was
and and
blowing it,
and what about that system? Maybe if if the judges have to score the rounds independently. You know, the cards. For example, we have a card with a round through 1 through 12, and that cards contain all the rounds that you scored. What about if the cards are independent? For example, you have a card only for 1 round, and that
right,
card after the round ends must be certified, you know, and taken away from the judges, and locked away. I don't know who the hell get the cards and lock them away or have them in order, until the fight ends. You know, and
right,
you scored every round on one card, so it can be altered, you know, or mismanaged, all that, you know. Every single card is independent. Every round is independent on one single card.
right. Okay. So in some countries, and like in Las Vegas, New York, and Washington D.C., and I also think Colorado, right? After every round, when the round is concluded, what you
Yeah.
don't see, what everybody's paying attention to is the ring card girl's ass, right? And while you're watching the ring card girl's ass, what you might not be paying attention to is the referee collecting the scorecards. He goes to
Okay.
every judge after every round and he collects every scorecard and he gives it to the official on the other side of the ring so that
Okay.
round by round they don't get to change their mind. So when the scars the tallies every round are submitted. In
Okay.
other countries, they hold the scorecard into the end.
Yeah.
They hold, and I don't like that. I don't like
No, I
that.
don't like that.
I don't like that. I've seen scorecards where things were erased, scribbled, and they actually showed it. They actually took a photograph of the scorecards, and you could
Okay.
see dudes erasing, scribbling shit, and writing stuff. And
Yeah.
I didn't like that system. But I think that a system must be developed all around in boxing where it's just one way to score a fight. I don't
I got
think
one
that.
implementation they could do.
Yeah, what's
No
up?
more, no more draws. If you get to the 12th round and it's a draw, we're going
A
to the
bonus
death,
round?
a
To
bonus
the
round,
death
Bonus
match
round.
round? Yeah,
death match
I
round.
like that. I kind of like that.
There'll be no draws ever in boxing.
I kind of
You
like
can
that.
you can still get the rematch though. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because
Right. Mhm.
if you felt you won, the score wasn't how you thought it was. You
Right.
go to death match, to the extra round. Whoever wins obviously wins, and then you go for the rematch.
Yeah.
Imagine
I
that
couldn't
shit.
I couldn't
Uh,
agree more with you. I couldn't agree more. Because
That's because a definitive winner. Yes.
yeah,
Exactly.
because when you're
Yeah.
competing, your final goal is to win. It's not to have a draw.
Right.
Exactly.
So
Listen,
the
I'm going
spirit
to
of
say
the
this.
competition is to win. Either you win or
Right.
not. That's it.
Right. I'm going to say this until I believe Santo Domingo should have partied that night against
Adamas.
Adames
Yeah.
of versus
Yeah,
Hashi.
yeah.
Right? Yeah, man. They should have had a legit good feeling. They might have partied and felt like they won, but they needed to get that recognition. They needed to get the full victory, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all because it made me feel like Turkey has something to do with it. When I'm a big advocator in the fact that I see the obvious. How the fuck is Turkey going to shoot himself in the foot because
Yo,
he's not
Edwin, you know this
gambling?
dude, Mike Trejo?
I have no idea who that is. He's never been in my chat. Why was he saying?
Pa'l carajo se va entonces.
So anyway, you know what I'm saying? Because Turkey holds all the cards, all the fighters. He's not gambling against another promotional company. He's not fighting against anybody, and he's not trying to outdo you. So the best thing in that course is just let the fights go the way they're gonna go because you're not fighting against anybody else but yourself. So I always felt like that. I always felt like Turkey was a really interesting entity in boxing because he was the only man I've ever seen in boxing that controlled everything, both sides. He had both fighters. And usually it was Oscar against the PBC or Oscar against Top Rank. And there was like shit involved, and you felt some way there was somebody cheating or something. But when you run everything, what are you going to cheat against yourself? So, so I said to myself, Turkey's not, all he has to do, all he's doing is just, he's a green fan that has a lot of money, that he does a lot of shit that in boxing we kind of be like, and he's learning as he goes along because he keeps saying this guy's my favorite or this guy's my favorite. But every time he says this guy's my favorite, that guy loses. Right? Anthony Joshua, he's my favorite. Got knocked the hell out. You know, Tyson Fury, he's gonna beat Usyk. Got not beat. So it's not like he's sabotaging these fights. But when he fought Adames, I couldn't help but think and feel like this cheated feeling in my gut. I was like, nah, man,
And you know
Bronco
what?
beat him.
What's the worst part of it? Because right now, that fight just happened a year ago. Like less than a
Yeah,
year ago. We remember and we saying, "No, he won." But when the years come, 5 years from now, 6, 10 years from now, people won't remember that it was a fight that he really won. People will only
right.
say it was a draw.
Yeah,
Because when the time passed, people don't recognize that he really won that fight. People gonna
yeah.
look at his record and they're gonna see on his record, oh, he got a draw against that guy.
Oh,
Oh,
draw.
they
Yeah.
won't give him his props or the fight that he should have won that he didn't.
That hurts a fighter's career because
Yeah,
that's a setback. Let me tell you something right now. O'Shaughnessy Foster won that fight against Conciao, the first one,
yeah,
clearly, and they
yeah.
gave it to Conciao, and that put a hiccup on O'Shaughnessy Foster's career. He went back and won the belt back. It was a much better fight. The second fight, yes, I admit, it was a way better fight. Conceição gave a better performance of himself, but it does it. What does that do to that fighter's career, man? You know,
It
you
takes
you
away kind of his the legacy of the fight. You
yeah,
know,
it
it hurts his
does.
legacy. Yeah,
It hurts it. And Sheeraz go on to be a dominant champion. And if you would have gave um um Adamas that victory, it would have showed what kind of champion he would have beat. Not a draw. It would have
yeah,
said he would have the first man to beat him. And if he goes on to be a dominant champion, then Carlos Adames' win matures well. But by
yeah,
giving him a draw, it gives him no credit. And that's fucked
yeah.
up.
No credit. And that
That's
wasn't
fucked up.
on your demeanor also, and your
Yep.
confidence, and the way you approach fights. You know,
Right. Right.
it works in your mind. People think it doesn't, but it does. It does.
It
Hey,
does.
so back to what I was saying about Turkey making this into a quote unquote WWE WWF type of environment. If we
Right.
take a look at what happened with, I think it was Ring One with the Tio and I mean the Ryan and Rody card.
Okay.
You had Tio come in looking like that wrestler Mike whatever his name is. I mean,
uh,
makeup all over his face, and you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
Then
yeah.
we go to this card. I mean, to this press conference today. You got Berlanga throwing money at Oscar, telling him to strip for him, giving him pink panties and fucking a fishnet, a wig, and all that shit. Is it funny? Yes, but is it needed in boxing? No.
How does all the other countries view us? They got to look at us and say, those fucking Americans, bro. They always got to put talk shit, do all this stuff to sell their fights. They can't sell their fights by their skill, huh? They gotta be disrespectful. They gotta be. You gotta. There's no loyal. There's no honor to boxing with the Americans anymore, is there? How are the other countries viewing us? They must look at us like jokes, like clowns. Look at this clown doing this again. How embarrassed! But in America, we love controversy. We love
Yeah,
shit talking. We love this. So the other countries might not understand the brash, cocky American persona, right? That we're, because we always feel we got to step it up. Because the one thing about America, it shows you a lot of things early in your life and you're not so impressed. You can say, I've seen that before. Yeah, I've seen that before. So each time you got guys coming out, look how much we're rubbing off on everyone else, even the Europeans, that in the Conor Ben Chris Eubank fight, Chris Eubank hit him with an egg. When have you
yeah,
seen that in the
yeah,
European?
yeah,
When have you ever seen that? Well, listen, we're rubbing on these fighters so
yeah.
much. When have you ever seen Naoya Inoue with a gold chain and a watch and a hat?
Some
The
Jordans
second,
and a
and a
fitted.
Jordans and a fitted. The minute he got off the airplane in Las Vegas, they put a fitted, Jordans, a watch, a
They
gold
had,
chain, and a
yo,
bracelet on the
we
man.
got the swag. That's what it is. We got to
Yeah,
Listen,
give it to
yeah,
these other
L-
fighters.
listen, it's like America will change you, will change you. And sometimes it's distasteful because there must be honor in fighting. Okay, let me tell you something about fighting. I have gone into fights and I was talking shit about the other kid. He was talking shit about me. And I was saying some of the most outlandish shit to him. He was saying it to me. We know we were going to fight each other. We had seen each other in multiple tournaments, amateur tournaments growing up. We knew one day we
yeah,
were going to fight. When we got to finally fight, I hated this kid, right? After the 3 rounds that I fought him, I hugged him in the middle of the ring. Not that day, but 3 days later, we met up and we had lunch. He gained my respect.
yeah,
I met a friend during in combat. There was no other way for another warrior as myself and him to get each other's respect. That's the way fighters gain each other's respect. And
yeah.
after the
Boxing
fight,
is a business
we
of
appreciate
gentlemen.
each other. Yeah, we appreciate each other. maybe
Yeah,
after the fight. Maybe if it was too easy or something, we might be like, ah, he was a bit, blah, blah, blah. You know how we are. But there is honor in the fight.
Yo, can
And
you imagine that shit would have happened at an NOA press conference in Japan? They
no,
would have shut that shit down
nah,
ASAP.
no,
he would never do that in Japan.
no,
Never. He
no.
knows what it is. Japan wouldn't send that.
Yeah, no.
But
The honor out there is too much bowing, too much respect.
Yeah,
The crowd when you go out to Japan, it's not like an American crowd that we're all rowdy, we're on cell phones, we're like fuck you and your girlfriend and your mother, blah 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 blah. Right in Japan, they're cheering for the opposing guy and their guy. They're like this in the
yeah,
crowd. Yo, si alguien se tira un peo, you'll hear it.
yeah,
That's how
yeah.
respectful they are. They're sitting there
In,
and they're like,
in
you
fact,
know,
it's very rare to see in Japan bias results. It happens,
yeah,
but it's very rare to see that in Japan. Most of the
yes, it
time,
is.
they're pretty fair.
Yo, they celebrated Brian Norman Jr. knocking out Jin. Brian Norman Jr. showed respect. He bowed to the crowd. They all cheered him. You know, they
Yeah,
showed him coming out the ring and stuff. And I saw Japan reporters firsthand in in Las Vegas in the top rank boxing gym where Tiger Johnson was in the gym and I was talking to Tiger Johnson. These three Japan reporters walked up to Tiger Johnson, had no idea who he was. She had a translating device in her hand. She said something in Japan. It said it back in English to him. He said, yes, I have an amateur career. I did this, and this. Tiger Johnson, all the Japanese reporters started bowing. Yes, just with a Jap, he said an amateur. They were like, yes, you are great. You are good. Yo, they showed him like married. And then he was like, I'm a pro. Even then it blew their mind. They were like, and you're a pro. They like had no idea the respect level for the fighters, the Japanese reporters. And it's just like they're real fair when it comes to that. And they like all fighters, and it's great. And I think that right now, Naoya Inoue is setting a precedent for Japan fighters. Had it not been for him, I don't think a lot of these guys get the recognition they're getting. He's doing so much for it. So when you got special fighters like that, they do special kind of things, you know. And back to Berlanga and this fight and everything at the line, you know, Shakur Stevenson also has a big fight in front of him with William Cepeda, guys. And
yeah,
Mexico is definitely coming in, trying to put their best foot forward. That's Oscar's guy. That's the only guy I see that he has on the fight card. I don't know how he's the lead promoter, shooting down everybody else. But what do
yeah,
you guys think about that Cepeda fight? What do you guys
at least
think? You
at least we didn't get a turkey calling during the fucking press conference.
Oh yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that was wild, right? But yeah, what
But
seriously, you guys, how you guys do? You guys, anybody here think that Cepeda can win this fight? What's up?
well, it is boxing. Anything could happen in a match.
Yep.
I did see a focused Cepeda. He didn't feed
Okay.
into the bullshit. He didn't feed into the shit talking. He gave Shakur his credit when credit was due, and with his accomplishments and shit like that.
Yep.
He said that he knows he's going into a tough fight and he's well prepared. Shakur, on the other hand, he was talking a little bit more than what he used to, what he's used to, talking. Um, you know what? I think that these fighters, if they're gonna talk shit to their opponent. Don't talk shit to the promoter. Don't talk shit to, you know what I'm saying, anybody there. It's you and that guy. That's who you should be talking shit to. That's who you should be selling the fight. You should be selling the fight by talking to your opponent, not to anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know. They both look confident. Shakur looked confident. Cepeda looks confident. Oscar did ask the important question: is your hand gonna hold up? Shakur's
Yeah.
response was, "We'll see Saturday." You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
See, that's
yeah,
Shakur Stevenson's Achilles heel. right
Correct.
now that a lot of people are telling him that he never really talks shit. He always has that that smile, and that little dimple in his cheek, and he never really been that good at shit talking Shakur. So,
Well, he's been
you know,
hanging out with Berlanga, so he's getting
me,
good at it.
yeah, me following him on X, I know that a lot of his fans have been saying, "Yo, Shakur, you need to, talk more. You need to, convince us why we should go out and support you and why you're going to give such a dominant performance in XYZ." So I
Yeah.
think that's why he's been more boisterous leading into this fight right here, because at times him and Tank Davis have been criticized for going up on press conferences and not saying too much, So,
So
uh,
I said all that to say I still stand by my prediction.
yep.
Where my prediction was, for those that didn't catch it before, I'll say it again. If we get 100% healthy Shakur, I got Shakur winning by UD, possible stoppage.
Antonio, ¿qué
If
tú tienes?
if
Um, I
Shakur
believe.
gets hurt during the fight,
All right.
I got Kamaron might pull it off.
Okay. What do you got, Antonio?
I believe that fight is gonna be tougher than many people thought. I kind of relate that fight to the fight that Shakur had against Valdez. It's gonna be like
Okay.
the Valdez fight because of the pressure Valdez put on Shakur, but a little bit tougher because since Cepeda is a bigger guy than Valdez. He's a bigger frame. Shakur wouldn't be able to manhandle,
Right.
Cepeda the way he did against Valdez. So I believe it's gonna be a little bit like the Valdez fight, but a little tougher for Shakur. Even though,
Absolutely.
but I believe, despite all that, I believe Shakur is gonna win decisively. Not like he's gonna whoop Cepeda's ass, but he's gonna win clearly. But it's gonna be a lot tougher than many people believe.
I'm gonna agree with you. I agree with you. I think that it's gonna be just like the Valdez, excuse me,
Yeah.
fight.
If you look at that fight, sorry, wrong one. Excuse me. Let me cut you off.
Mhm.
And if you remember that fight against Valdez was able to put some good hands on Shakur. There were a few rounds where he was able to put some good hands on Shakur. So if that happens with Cepeda, maybe Cepeda can hurt Shakur. We don't know. Maybe he
Right.
can be hurt.
You
So
see, I think with Cepeda, the difference between him and Valdez is that he's a more volume puncher. So he's that much more dangerous because you have that much more offense coming towards you. Now, statistically, Shakur is probably the most fewest hit champion to date right now. I think there has been no champion hit less
yeah.
than Shakur. Now,
He's
coming
right there with
to
Vivol and Shakur
right,
and some other guy.
right,
Yeah.
right. So what we have here is a guy that gets hit the less to the guy that throws the most punches and has one of the broke the most record for the most punches thrown in an entire fight in William Cepeda. He has the record right now currently in all of boxing.
Yeah.
So that's what we have. We have a guy that's volume punching, which a guy that's very hard to hit. What I think um, in this scenario is Cepeda is going to put the kind of pressure on Shakur where it's going to make him throw a lot more punches than he usually throws in a round. By doing so, it's going to make Shakur Stevenson use his hands much more. In a lot of situations, he could injure one of his hands trying to fend off William Cepeda. That's what I would try to do. I would try to increase the volume where that I made Shakur throw a lot of punches where that maybe I could catch one off the top of my forehead and would really damage one of his hands. It's going to be a little painful, but it's going to pay off. And if you can make him a one-arm bandit, you're going to make him a runner. You're going to make him a runner. And,
Yeah.
and the thing is, with this fight right here in particular, the criticism that Shakur has getting for running, it's not going to save him in this fight. The judges and the people, I think they are in Turkey and the powers that be,
Yeah.
They're gonna make the guy. You see, because there's two scoring in all of boxing. Let's just keep this in mind. The first criteria to judging a fight in the
E-
officiating
Engaging. Yeah.
is
Forward aggression.
forward. No. Wait. No. Sorry. Um,
Engaging.
Effective punching is the first
Okay.
criteria of scoring a fight. Effective punching, meaning you can land 20 jabs on me. I punch you one time, you wobble. My punch had more effect than your 20 jabs. So
Yeah.
effective punching is the first criteria. If the
Okay.
action is too intense or too less than, like there's just no action, they go to forward aggression. Who is the fighter that was going forward trying to initiate the action, but either you were shunning away, or if the fight was intense, who was the fighter that was going forward the most, getting the fight to to get hot. So that's how it's scored. So if in the Shakur fight they see that he's running and Cepeda's just chasing him, it would be the same verdict they gave Teofimo Lopez against Jermaine Ortiz, where that Jermaine
Exactly.
Ortiz was winning, but he was just doing too much moving, and they saw
Yeah.
Teo going forward, and they awarded him forward aggression. You see? So I think
I agree with
in
you.
that, yeah, in that criteria, if Shakur keeps or injures a hand, he's screwed. Because I think they're going to give the forward aggression this time to William Cepeda. And let's keep in mind, who's the lead promoter in this? Oscar De La Hoya. And who's his
Golden
fighter?
boy.
Who's his fighter?
William Cepeda.
William Cepeda. Okay. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yo, what do you guys think? Since we got the face off for the first time today, Morel and Kakmedov or Kadev,
I
whatever
never
his
thought
name.
that fight was actually going to take place. I never saw a weigh in for Morel. He had all his clothes on when he did his weigh in. They didn't even show the other guy. Then I didn't see him really like in his warm up and everything. I didn't think the fight was going to take place. And
Yeah.
here we are. They're going to take What do you guys think about that fight?
You know, I thought that the Karaev guy, he was bigger. I thought he was bigger, but now I saw him and he's not as big as I thought he was.
Oh, okay.
So
Yep.
now I'm really favoring that guy
Morel.
Morel over. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
always favor Morel, but now even more because I thought that guy was a lot bigger because I saw a picture of him. He looks like strong, and big.
Right.
But he's big, but not enough for Morel. I think Morel wins even by knockout.
Mm. What do you think?
Yeah.
Front line.
I see it the same way.
You see it the same way?
I see Morel by now. You got to understand that this Russian dude he's a brute fighter. He's in he he just throws. He lacks defense. He lacks a lot. I saw a couple of his highlight fights, and he lacks defense. He's just a straight come forward, letting his hand go, and no defense, similar to like Matias. In other words,
No. But Matias is a guy that has his swag. He fights with a swag.
right?
With
Like
swag. Yeah.
yeah. But Karaev is like a raw fighter, like too
Yeah,
raw.
raw. He's a brute fighter. Yeah, rough.
Yeah.
So I see Morel picking him apart and
Really? Yeah.
dropping him. That's how I see it. And don't be surprised if it's within four.
Because Matias, sorry, because let me tell you, because Matias go forward, goes always forward, and throw punches. But you know that you can see that he has mastered his style. So you can see that it's something that he
Yes.
does because he has mastered, not because he's just going forward and throwing punches. It's like he has a plan on it. But
Yeah.
this kind of guy is too raw. It's like you just, yeah, I don't know. He's too raw.
And
A
they
little
they
rough around the edges.
yeah, they also Frank Warren with Queensberry. He signed what's his name? Lozano Oquendo. He's a Puerto Rican fighter, 18 years old. I think he's from Caguas. He was supposed to debut in this fight in this card, But they couldn't find. They had an opponent. The opponent pulled out. Then they found a replacement. He pulled out, and I don't think they're still hoping to find a last minute replacement for his
Mm,
debut.
mm.
But I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, I think they're just gonna push him to another card.
Yeah.
I most likely I heard yeah. I was told the same shit. I think they're just gonna push him to another card. But let's see where this how this kid starts off his career. Another Puerto
Round
Rican.
one.
Yeah, what's up?
Tell your wife to prepare you some honey with onions and garlic and aloe vera. Mix that
Oh
up.
Alavela.
shit! That motherfucker
Yeah,
breath
yeah.
gonna smell like shit.
Oh, no,
Oh
no, 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 no,
shit.
no, no,
No,
no.
no,
Remember,
that's
remember, the crystal of the aloe vera, de la sábila, el cristal de la sábila, it doesn't
yeah.
smell. It is the peel, but the crystal doesn't smell. It is
Oh,
Shit, the garlic
un
and
poco
the onion
amargo.
do though.
No, 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 no. But it's only before you go to bed. Before you go to bed.
yeah.
Mira,
Yo,
papá,
well then,
eso
now,
te quita esa gripe y te la sana de una vez, papá, de una vez.
sí, pues, lo único por qué yo tengo esa sana así, es por el pasto. You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
que me hace, que me hace tomar, pero yo no lo pongo en el screen. Cuando yo me doy un toquecito así, yo pongo el de eso así para arriba, porque yo no
ok,
quiero
ok.
para que me tiren, porque por fumar, yo estoy prendiendo mucho que sí, en la Boxing Voice ellos fuman eso y lo otro, eso allá es porque ya está established, pero YouTube
Okay,
no te tira el show si tú
yeah.
fumas,
Oh,
¿entiendes?
yeah.
Por
I didn't know
eso,
that.
yeah, yo no me enseño la cara cuando estoy fumando ahora,
Oh,
porque
yeah, okay,
quiero dar, por si acaso, si hay un nene
yeah. Okay.
mirándome,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
like that. Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I do, just out of
But
respect.
not, either way, now you know it.
Yeah.
So in case you have the flu someday,
Yes.
you can use that.
Yeah, I
That's
got
the
the
best for the
remedy.
flu. The
I
best,
got the
bro. The
remedy.
best.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. That's
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
up,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know?
Antonio? What about the main card, Berlanga Sheeraz? How do you have it?
I already told you last time we were on. I say that I believe, my opinion, Berlanga, that guy Sheeraz is a
Good
little bit
point.
too is a little bit too fine for Berlanga. He's a little bit too composed to develop as a fighter for Berlanga. Berlanga, I don't think Berlanga has the fundamentals to get to a guy with that long reach and respectable power as Sheeraz. I believe you need more than being strong going forward in order to get to that guy because he uses his reach very good and he has power. And while going forward, I think Berlanga is gonna be eating a lot of right hands and straight right hands and all that. So he may be KO. I
Right.
would love to Berlanga to win, but I don't think he doesn't have the boxing fundamentals to get to Shiraz. Or at least he'll be too exposed and it's gonna be too risky for him. He may be KO'd. That's what I believe.
Right. That's a big possibility. I've seen that scenario play out in my head. The only thing is that I'm banking on. The one thing I'm banking on is the next time you see your fighter, you should see a better version of that fighter. He should have learned and become better.
Yeah, yeah,
So hopefully, I'm just being optimistic here.
yeah,
Hopefully Berlanga, by his appearance, coming
yeah.
in thinner, looking better in shape. He hasn't even did the weight cut. He already got
No.
abs. It looks like he's really dialed in. Now, all his antics tell you otherwise. It looks like you're overlooking him or you're concentrating on somebody else. I get frustrated by that shit. It makes me feel a certain way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also have to see how he performs and if in fact what we're about to see is a better version of Berlanga. You
But
know,
but but Berlanga, is somehow he get to cut the distance against Shiraz in the early rounds while he's still fresh. I don't
yeah,
see how Shiraz can survive Berlanga. Berlanga is so strong, so much stronger than Shiraz. That Berlanga, if he cuts the distance, there is no way Berlanga Shiraz can survive. If that happens, it's gonna be Berlanga by KO. Easy, easy.
Right. Okay. Okay. I can see that. I can see
Here's what
that.
I see. I see Berlanga knocking Sheeraz the fuck out by the third round.
And you
No,
know,
no,
Frontline saying that with a
that's not.
shotgun in the back of his head from his wife saying, "Say that shit." You know what
But
I'm
you know what?
saying?
You know what, Frontline? That could be very likely. I believe Berlanga can do it because even though I believe Shiraz is very composed, and he uses his reach very good. I don't think he can bang with Berlanga. I don't think he can bang with Berlanga.
Well,
Berlanga is too strong for him.
here's what I did today. Today I rewatched the Ammo
What the hell?
Sheeraz fight, and I also watched the Alames with Sheeraz fight. I watched both of them. That being said, in the Ammo fight, yes, he got rid of him by the seventh, I believe, or the eighth round, if I remember correctly. But he was getting hit way too much by Ammo, right? And then
Yeah,
against Adames, we all saw what Adames did to Shiraz.
yeah.
So that being
Sheeraz was
said,
Sheeraz was weight drained, brother. He couldn't make no more weight, and that was affecting his performance
I
in the ring.
I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Ah,
He made weight. He
he
signed a
made weight.
contract for that fight. That weight bully and weight drain. I don't use none of that as excuses. But with Shiraz, he doesn't like to get hit. That being said,
That's true. That's true. That's true.
one thing you can say about Berlanga or whatever. I mean, y'all can say whatever, but you know that Berlanga is not gonna sit there and try to box. He's a come forward fighter. He's gonna be in your face. Can Shiraz?
What happens if Shiraz boxes him, has good footwork, and gets him frustrated?
Okay, that's
He doesn't have a good
I
footwork.
was getting to that.
He doesn't have good footwork.
Right. He doesn't have good footwork. He's got a good jab and
Yeah,
good
good job and good straight
reach.
hand. Yeah.
So that yes, where I
So
was getting at,
Angulo had good footwork.
Angulo doesn't have good footwork either.
So how did he get to? So how did he
Angulo has good,
frustrate?
but Angulo has a good jab.
So does Shiraz. You just said he does a good job, my brother.
I understand that. Did Angulo beat Berlanga?
Yeah, but a good jab
Well,
doesn't
he
make
got
you a
bit by
great boxer.
Berlanga. He
You
got
just
bit
have
Berlanga
by
a
bit
jab.
Berlanga.
him.
Let's not forget that one.
Yeah, he bit him
Why? Because he was frustrated, right?
because I know Angulo was fighting dirty, so he took that route. But what I'm saying is, Shiraz, so you got to understand two things here. Number one, this is a new weight class or weight division for Shiraz. That's number one. Number two, I think it was a bad move on Shiraz's end by getting a new trainer and take a massive opponent like Berlanga. Well, not a massive, but the superstar status as his first fight with a new trainer. So Berlanga has the advantage because he's got Mark Ferret in his corner, a trainer that's been with him since the amateurs. And in case y'all didn't know, Berlanga was a boxer before he was a power puncher. So he's got the fundamentals there. So that's why I say
You know what? You
within
know
three
what? You
rounds,
know what? I'm gonna flip my decision. I'm gonna flip.
you changing it subject to change. That's what we hear. Round one.
Yeah. You know what? You know what? Because you can beat me without because I realize that it's true that Chirac doesn't have a good footwork. He doesn't have. So now for me is I see more clear, in my mind, how can Berlanga get to him? So it's gonna be easier than I believe, or that I thought it was for Berlanga to get to get to Shiraz. So if he does, so I don't think Berlanga Shiraz can bang with Berlanga. Berlanga is so much stronger. So that state, I'm gonna change my outcome. So I believe it's gonna be Berlanga
Well,
by KO.
There we go.
let's keep in mind, fellas, that Hamza Shiraz has a 80% knockout ratio, brother. I know that's
and
a bit
Berlanga
fishy,
has a
but
79%.
Yeah,
Okay, so they're
they're
both there. So they're
1%
both
off.
there. So they're both there. One at 60, one at 68. Yeah,
Here, let me
correct.
give you a real stat. Let me give you a real stat.
Bring it.
Hamza Shari got 7 12-round fights to Berlanga's 3. What do you feel about that?
That he goes the distance more.
No, he does not. That's the
Wait,
thing about it. That Hamza Shari been scheduled more 12-round
Shiraz,
fights.
Shiraz.
Haraz, it's
Shiraz.
Shiraz. I mess up. I kill his name, but Shiraz has more 12-round fights, but he's taking the opponents. He's beating them before the 12th round at a more faster rate. Meaning. Okay, his fights were 12-round fights, right? So he went the distance with Carlos Adames. His last fight, he fought Dennis. He knocked him out in the second round. The fight before that, he went to the 11th with Austin Williams. The fight before that, Liam Williams, he knocked him out in the first round. That was a 12-round fight. The fight after that, he knocked out the next guy in the second round. That was a scheduled 12-round fight. And the guy after that, he knocked out in the second round, and that was a 12-round fight. You understand? And then the guy after that, he knocked out in the fifth round, and that was a 12-round fight. So he hasn't gone past 5, only but one time, well, twice with the Carlos Adames fight. Is that a factor where that he was already training and fighting for 12 rounds, happened to get his
Uh-oh.
opponents out early? What do you guys
Well,
think?
Look at what
well,
spirit. Hugo, hold on. I gotta say the spirit of LFC fans. He says I'm from the UK. Berlanga needs to see if his chin can hold up, and he's got a ton of first round knockouts. Shiraz has a new coach and is a new weight class, but his footwork's not great, and his wrist is hurt. Are we getting excuses already?
Hmm.
no, that's just an undercover Berlanga fan trying to make it seem like he's from the UK. It was like today in the press
Hey,
conference.
is that the guy
It's
who
like
called the press conference?
yeah. It's the guy that he paid $500 for to make that ridiculous little phone call when he had all this time for promotion. He finally stepped up his promotion game today, and it was whack.
Yeah. I hear
but
you.
no. And all jokes aside, I see Berlanga winning by 3
By
before
3.
by 3 before the third round.
Okay.
I'll say by
Well,
the fifth, at least by the fifth. He got to
So
apply
you're
pressure
you're
though.
banking on early power.
Well,
No,
mm,
I
I'm
want him to
banking
go
on
to the body
skills.
early. That's what he
well,
has to do.
well. I know this for sure. If Berlanga can't knock him out, and if they go to the judges' scorecard, I definitely feel like this is a Turkey card, a Ring Magazine card, that's funded by Mr. Turkey Al, and I don't know if you guys seen how big of a fan is Turkey Al for Hamza Shiraz. Anyways, I say that to say this. I say if they go to the scorecards and it's a close fight, I think it'll go for Hamza Shiraz. We all know that boxing is not rigged, but it's heavily influenced. Meaning that if the financier is in your corner and likes you, somehow, some way, he might slip in there to the judges to favor Hamza Shiraz. Tomorrow we'll know. I mean, I'm sorry, we'll know on Saturday, but that's what I think. I think that if it goes to the scorecards and it's a close fight, Hamza's taking it.
So here's a question I got for you, Hugo, and I want a God honest answer. Let's go back to what Edwin said earlier in the show. If if Berlanga beats and knocks Shiraz out in, let's say, a fast period of time, right? Let's just say before the third. Would you consider Shiraz a tomato can?
Definitely not. This is the first fight in this new weight division, and he's going up against one of the top names. He could have took an easy tune-up. He could have taken man, I can't think of a name right now, but he took it. But he could have definitely taken a top 10 fighter, you know. But he's going after one of the big head honchos that's never been a world champion, but that's been a world champion title contender and a big name. So
So like a Caleb Plant, you mean?
no, Caleb Plant is another head honcho that just had a bad night. I feel like. But let me see. Let me bring up the.
He got his ass whooped.
What do you think of M. Billy?
Well, you
No,
know,
he
funny
can
enough,
fight.
my brother. Funny enough, I think the winner of this will have to go with versus Mbili because Mbili is the interim WBC, and this is a WBC title eliminator. So that's funny you brought
100%.
that name up.
100%.
So
That's exactly what I think's gonna happen.
unless Turkey Al pulls a good one and he gets Mr. Lester Martinez versus Christian Mbili in the Canelo Crawford undercard.
Wait a minute,
Remember,
guys. Wait a minute, guys. What if he pulls another fast one? Because I just saw a photograph with Jake Paul and Turkey Al. I think it was yesterday morning that they were showing that they were like either doing business together, and that he might want that fight, Jake Paul,
with who?
with and
Man,
Billy.
the only thing I hope that they were having a
No, Jake
conversation of
Paul.
was buying out MVP so he could fire Jake Paul, get him out of there.
Nah, I
Well,
think he wants that in Billy fight because I think that's
He
what
couldn't
Jake
have.
Paul's been
Hamzah
talking about.
Sheeraz could have easily gone up against Kevin Lily Sadhu. He could have even got a like a Oseli Iglesias. He could have got a Caleb
ooh, that Cuban's
Simpson.
dangerous.
Who?
Iglesias,
But when
he's
was the
Iglesias.
that
last time he fought? Remind
that's
me.
I
I
Osley Iglesias, Osley Iglesias.
He's gonna fight versus a guy that lost versus homeboy William Skull. What's that dude's name that lost against Shiskins? I don't know if you
Shisky.
guys seen that, but they're lined up already. But he could have definitely taken an easier opponent, Mr. Hamza Shiraz. But he wants a big money fight, so he has to get through
well,
this dude.
Iglesias 13-0 with 12 knockouts. Cuban fighter.
Yep, inactive,
He
but yeah,
well,
he
yeah.
hasn't fought, brother. He hasn't fought.
Hey, what do you
It's
think though about Murataya not trying to fight Andy Cruz? You think they're trying to set up Shakur and Murataya, or what's going on?
No, because Turkey announced that William Cepeda is supposed to be fighting Andy Cruz after the Shakur fight.
That's crazy.
He already
No,
announced that.
that was just like a thought he should have just kept inside his head. That's one of those thoughts where you're like, "Fuck, why did I even say that? I should have just
Yeah.
kept it inside," you know?
He even
no,
got Bam Bam Rodriguez fighting
Versus
the other dude,
Kafu.
and he hasn't even fought
Kafu.
Kafu.
Man, that dude Kafu is getting to put some good promo. Have you guys seen him on the
Nah,
Matchroom on Instagram?
nah, I haven't.
Man, I've
But
never seen him in my life, and it looks like he's getting some good promo in there, man.
man, he looks like a miniature Sabria Matias.
Yeah, but thank God this time Sabro Matias didn't dye his hair, so he shouldn't lose. Last time he lost because he dyed his hair like Goku.
hey, you know why? You know why boxers wear yellow?
Now, why, brother?
Because in the ring it fucks with your vision.
Whoa, wow,
I don't know. Well,
that's a deeper, darker criminal link there.
that's a deeper, darker criminal link.
What do you guys think about Brian Norman getting a little bit manhandled by Devin Haney security, man? That's nasty. Did you guys
I
see
didn't.
that video?
I didn't see
No,
that video. Would you like?
Come on,
Can you
man.
send it to me?
Wait. So
Um,
we're supposed to let the 1 and 2 stay vacant, so Andy Cruz can't fight Murataya. Like, what exactly?
That's been vacant for a very
That's
long
stupid, man. What are we
time.
doing with
A
boxing? What are we
very,
doing?
very long
hold on.
time
What is that for the? That's for IBF, right?
for
Murataya.
IBF. Yes,
Well, keep in mind, Murataya just got elevated because Lomachenko retired.
retired.
So if I'm
Respectfully
not
so.
mistaken, he gets a voluntary. You know, you
Yes.
can't throw him right in the fire. He
No, no,
gets a
no. He's
voluntary.
definitely getting a yes. You're right. Okay,
He
you're
gets a
right.
voluntary. He could I don't know, fight um Maxi Huge, a good name. Lucas Body, if he wants to give him voluntary, which I wouldn't, because he's dangerous. Um, let me see who else we got. We
Floyd
got Allen Abel.
Schofield.
Floyd Schofield.
I wouldn't give him a voluntary, man. Just look at what he just did, right? Come on, let's keep it a buck. Will you give
Yeah.
him a voluntary? Right? I mean, like, yes, sir, nigga. Let me get one. Let me get a tune-up. But yeah, he could
Yeah,
give
yeah,
a
yeah.
voluntary. But I think eventually, you guys know how the IBF runs, man. They don't play. So when they enforce a mandatory, they're definitely gonna enforce Andy Cruz. But I think before that, he'll get a
Alberto,
voluntary.
Alberto,
yo,
Alberto,
Edwin,
Bell,
pull up the rankings
Albert
real
Bell.
quick.
I got him in front of me. What's up, man? For 135 IBF, what do you need?
Look
Albert
at
Bell.
number
I
look
would
look 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 at number 5. Tell me the name you see there.
Sam
Sam
Noakes.
Notes. Sam Notes.
Isn't Sam Noakes fighting Sanders Sayas?
No, Sam
No,
Notes is
papi. Sam
fighting
Noakes.
Abdullah Mason for the
Sam.
WBO
That's
title.
right. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
we're
That's
at
Oh,
right.
you're thinking about
135.
Eric.
Papa, you guys are looking at if you guys want to know who is gonna beat Xander Zayas, and his name is Chino, and he's
Hell
from
no.
Mexico.
Chino ain't beating shit.
Yeah,
My
Chino, no,
brother,
but he's
he
not
just
beating
Chino
beat.
Eric.
Perez.
He just
Chino Perez.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. He's already fighting Xander Zion. That fight is already scheduled.
that's what
Your
I'm
I
boy
know.
is
saying,
gonna
man. So
fucking
you guys better
he
get ready because we
he's
bringing that back
hiding
to
under a
Mexico.
bed. He's hiding under a bed because his knee's still shaking, trembling. He didn't want
My,
that fight.
my
All
brother,
right.
we just cooked Cornwell, man,
Uh,
the boogeyman.
yo,
Conwell.
listen,
But listen,
Conwell.
Not
You
the same
know,
little
size,
ass
no,
buddy.
Conwell,
It's not
you
the
little
know what's
same
short
funny? You
size,
ass
know,
buddy.
Conwell, that little guy that
no
you guys were
one was
punching
raising
down
their
at.
hand to fight him. I know that for a fact.
I tell you,
No,
Xander Zion ain't no little Conwell.
Yeah, let's put money up.
He's gonna be looking eye to eye with him, and he's gonna take your boy, Perez. Pat, 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 pat.
Yo, it's
Yo,
not
his
passing
name
the
is
6 rounds.
Jorge Garcia Perez.
yeah, I don't care what you name him. His name is another losing column and Xander's winning column. That's what
Look,
it is.
let's keep it
What?
a buck. Let's
All
keep it a
right.
buck. That fight is probably gonna be not a snooze fest, but when was the last time Xander Zayas got a knockout versus a name?
When's the last time Xander Zion has had a boring fight? Never.
Yeah, when
He's
he
always going
recently,
forward.
recently when he was on the undercard with Michaela Mayer, that one
No,
was.
the opponents run away, bro. It's not the same.
Bro, that guy was running for his life.
yo,
You know
when
what I
was the
mean?
last time? When was the last time Zayas fought a Mexican and knocked him down?
Well,
Not
yeah,
knocked him
because
out, but knocked him down. Every Mexican he's fought, he's dropped.
but who
Dropped
are those
like a bad
Mexicans?
habit.
They're coming off TV Azteca and they're literally like on a 2 fight winning, I mean losing streak, my brother.
Yo, are you serious?
What are you talking about?
Give me a gun, man. You know what? Let me go to the stats over here, brother. I don't just want to
Go to
do
the
Pull him up.
stats.
things.
Go to the
Let's go.
stats.
Let's
Pull him
go.
up. I want to see him.
He fought
Xander Zayas.
Valenzuela, 26-4 at the time. He knocked him out in the 5th round.
All right, hold on.
Salazar, Flores,
Espérate. Who? I'm right here. His last fighter was
Spomer.
Slava Palmer.
Yep.
Okay, 20 and
Okay.
0. Okay.
Hold up.
He
I'm
Then
was
before
20 and
that,
0.
myself.
And then, but before that, he had a UD versus Damian Sosa. That one was the boring fight with the Damian Sosa
Come
one.
on, man. Stop
Come
it.
on, brother. It wasn't so exciting.
What do you mean exciting? What's your level of definition of excitement? Tell me
And
a
there wasn't no
Perez
box. They
fight.
were just
Wait a minute.
boxing the whole
Whoa.
time.
Tell me a Perez fight that was more exciting. Please. Entertain.
Conwell going in as an
Oh, stop it.
underdog.
So you're using his best fight against one of his allegedly boring fight for Xander. That's what you're
I
doing?
keep. Hold on, hold on. Keep
Hey,
going
yo,
though. Keep
that's
going.
crazy.
Keep going.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so then he fought
He
Patrick
using a recent fight that he's seen.
Teixeira. Okay, that's a good
Yep.
name. That's a good name. He's like an ex-world champion, right?
Yep.
Okay, then he fought Jorge Fortea,
Yep.
24 and 3,
Yep.
KO. Okay, then he fought Robert Valenzuela Jr., 26
Yeah.
and 4, KO. And then so look, this guy's on a one fight, I mean on a KO, then he goes a distance for 2 fights KO. So it's just like you don't know if you're
It,
gonna get that KO with him.
but
That's
it's
the
not
problem.
about the KO, papi. It's not about the KO. Think about it. When he fought Valenzuela, he won by KO. When he fought Texera, he won by UD. But how many times did he knock Texera down? Sosa, same thing. Fucking Forte,
Okay,
same thing.
okay, okay, okay. We are talking about Perez that he lost 4 times.
And who did he come back and
Whoa, whoa,
beat?
whoa, 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 whoa. We're
And
talking
who did he
about,
come back and beat?
I don't care who he came back. We're talking about Perez that's been lost 4 fights, then you're comparing him to a guy that has not lost, right?
Give
Okay, so that I
who's
just wanted to cover that as
Who's
an understanding.
Conwell and Xander Zaya's resume? Give me Conwell. Give me a boogeyman that killed someone in the ring and that everyone thought that he was gonna knock you out and that you come in here and box him out. Give me a name.
Okay. So you got Conwell that came into that fight
One
21 and
fight.
0.
That's one
Right?
fight
One
though.
fight. Okay. Wait a minute. He asked me to give him a name, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna say that Spooner came into the fight against Xander Zion. He was 20 and 0. Okay? That's what I'm gonna say, right? Now, as far as like the most experienced fighter I can say that Xander Zion has fought against is Patrick, that he had 34 and 4 record. So both these fighters are fairly young in their career, but apparently Perez knows how to lose more at a higher rate.
He's known as a loser.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know,
The one thing that Perez is
I'm not saying
better.
he's undefeated.
Listen. The one thing that Perez is better than Xander Zion, and I got to give it to him, is losing. He's better at losing than Xander Zion, and you are right. Okay?
No, the one thing is that he's better on is going to an
No,
enemy's
he's better at
territory
losing.
and
Yeah, he's
pulling the
definitely
upset.
better at losing. Yeah, and he's gonna catch another loss, fucking around with this Puerto Rican kid. Yeah, because Xander Zion is all of 22 years old. He's got his whole future ahead of him, and he's already fighting for a world title at 22. We're not
See,
talking
and,
about
perfect
and
brutal.
we're
example.
talking about a Zayas that got footwork, a very, very good punch selection.
Xander Zayas is a definition of a true Puerto Rican. I'll give him that.
What are you talking about? He was born here in Florida. And
But the definition as a fighter,
according to your standards, he's not a true Puerto Rican.
listen. All I'm saying is, okay, Xander Zayas.
On Box Rec, it does not say that. Don't lie. Let's keep it 100.
That's
Nationality
what
Birthplace.
Puerto
Box Rec
Rican.
says.
Boxrec says he's a resident of Sunnyside, Florida, and
Sunrise.
birthplace San Juan, Puerto Rico. His birthplace was San Juan, Puerto Rico. He was born in Puerto Rico,
Right, and raised out here. Yeah.
and he
You're right.
was
You're right.
raised in Florida. Yeah.
Hey, so Ali Fly says Shiraz is sparring light heavyweights, and they're saying he's hitting harder. If Berlanga can't hurt Shiraz, then it's over for him.
Listen, I don't care what he's sparring against, light heavyweights or non-contender heavyweights or whatever. We
Or
all
super
do that in the
heavyweights.
gym. We all do that. We all spar against bigger guys to increase our punch resistance, and to see if we can take big punches. I'm just saying that Edgar Berlanga has lived here his entire career at 168. All the guys that he fought were big dudes, Canelo Alvarez and etc. Right? And Hamzah is moving up. Add the 8-pound jump.
Wait,
Wait a
who
minute.
the big?
Wait. Add the 8-pound jump plus the rehydration. Meaning, I don't think Hamzah is accustomed to fighting guys this size. Okay? As we can see, Adames had him in all kinds of trouble, and he had him missing big. He had to make him. Adames had him looking lost at some points in that fight. The only thing that was wrong with Adames, it was his gas tank. It was just like if you played cards, spade. He couldn't cut and pull. He couldn't make him miss and make him pay. He had to do one of the either. And what he chose to was to make a miss. But that's what Carlos Adames really, to seal it for me, was that he had to make him pay more. But he still won the fight. But still,
So
that's what I'm saying. That
so so to Ali
that
Fly's response is, if you guys know who Najee Lopez is, he's a light
yeah,
heavyweight,
yeah. What about him?
and he got an interview out there saying that Edgar's on a whole nother level. He's punching, his punches is hard as hell. So I
Right.
mean, every sparring partner is gonna boost up their sparring partner because it's like it's part of their team. That's who they associate themselves with. You know what I'm saying?
right, right, right.
SA Killer B says dicen que Puello va a noquear a Matías. Miren la pelea de Ponce, le dio con todo y Matías aguantó todo. Y para mí Ponce era pegador, Matías en el 9 o 10. He's basically saying that they said that Puello is gonna knock out Matias. Look at the fight with Ponce. Ponce hit him with everything, and Matias held it, held it, held everything, every punch. And for him, Ponce is a puncher. Matias
A
is
more
gonna win
efficient
between
puncher.
9 and 10.
Yeah.
There
Well,
is there is 5% chance that Puello can knock out Matias. 5%.
now the problem with that was right, and I agree there is a 5% chance, but the problem with that was that Alberto Puello didn't show that he could even stop Sandro Martin or Gary Antoine Russell, which in their own
No
right
one has
are
stopped either.
strong fighters. Wait,
No
wait,
one has
and
stopped either.
wait. In their own right, they're strong fighters. So we've all seen guys batter Matias. We've seen big punchers in Ananyang and Jukumbai. We've seen big punchers, knockout artists,
Chef.
Dergachev, the knockout artists that punch Matias and had big punches. So I don't see Alberto Puello as a big puncher, but a volume of punches can cause a knockout. You know, if Sabriel is not careful and he takes too much damage in the first half, he can get stopped in the later half by Alberto Puello.
Now here's what a
Because
lot of people are
there'll be
not.
an accumulation.
Here's what a lot of people are overlooking too. They're overlooking the fact that Puello has never said that he's gonna knock Matias out.
Huh?
These are the fans that are saying that.
Yeah.
Puello, his whole game plan the whole time is he's going in there to do his job,
Yep.
and whatever the results are, the results are. He's not
I
looking
think
for a
you're right.
knockout, he's looking for a win
Yes,
by
I think
any
you're
means
right.
necessary.
Yep.
So I don't understand why these fans are saying what they're saying when they know it's not true. They don't even believe the shit they're saying themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
One thing that
that's a
one thing
fan.
that we could say though, as a fan, one thing that we could say is what we said earlier. Matias is 22-2 with 22 knockouts.
Yes. 100% knockout ratio.
So
100%
And
knockout
who's
ratio.
saying that Alberto Puello, with his 40% knockout ratio, is gonna knock out Subriel Matias? Come on,
We
guys.
well, well,
the
Come on,
fans
there's a
come
are
lot of
on.
the
people that were saying it, and there's a 5% chance, which
Plus,
I'm gonna
his
agree
last
with.
two wins were by split decision.
That's
Literally.
okay, but that doesn't exclude you from being able to knock someone out. It just means that you were fighting better level of opposition.
so
That's all.
SA Killer B says Ponce era largo como Puello, no el mismo estilo, pero como tiran sus golpes. So what he's saying is Ponce is long like
Right,
Puello,
right.
not the same
Damn.
style, but they throw the same style punches.
Am
You
I
guys got
seeing
to hit
a
this like button for me.
am
Remember
I
that.
seeing this correct? 100% knockout ratio?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
100% knockout ratio.
But how does that work if he lost twice?
Because
Because
you don't count the loss.
the
Yeah,
22 fights that he fought and
he
won,
knocked them all out.
that's
The
100%
K,
knockout
yeah,
ratio.
Right,
KO ratio is
And
based on the win, not the
oh, okay.
event. I mean, not the
But
right.
fight.
Papi, in the fight that mattered, his homecoming championship, he couldn't knock this dude out. Not even beat Liam Paro. The
Shit
one,
happens, bro. You have
the
a bad
one
night.
fight where he needed to, he couldn't get it done.
Well, you might frown at that, but sometimes for some of these guys, homecoming can be a curse to you. And sometimes you can shine.
Yeah, I
You
know,
know,
brother. Tell me, Jaime Munguia had he got knocked.
that's
Well,
stretched,
nah, don't
Well,
do
stretched
that
out,
either, bro. Don't do
look,
that
look at
either.
look at Gary Antoine Russell
stretched
when he
out.
when he fought Puello,
Come on,
he came in
Papi.
at a
What's
100%
up?
knockout ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another dude that Gary Anton Russell. I don't know how the hell did Alberto Puello just keep him
He
like
taught
he'll
him
be
a
saying
boxing
something else.
lesson.
He gave
Yes,
him
He
he
a
taught
did.
boxing
Gary
lesson.
Antoine Russell a boxing lesson.
The same
All
way
right.
that Rayo Valenzuela gave Pitbull a boxing lesson, where everyone's like, "Bro, you're gonna get knocked out by Pitbull." He gave him a boxer master class.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
That's
gotta
why
understand. And
certain styles.
one thing
Yeah.
I could respect Puello on is when he fought Gary Antoine Russell, he didn't run.
For
When
sure,
he
he
was in the
wasn't.
when
No,
he was in the
no,
pocket
no.
with Russell, he was exchanging with Russell. He
He
wasn't
was
running.
exchanging with him. He was exchanging with him, but he
Yes.
always had the better combinations, and they weren't even like deadly combinations, but they were just enough to pop his head back and be like, "Oh, all right, he got the best of that one." Have you guys talked about the Morel and the
Yeah.
let me see
Yeah.
that
How do you see it, Hugo?
I mean,
man? Well, look, trip out. I seen how do you pronounce the dude's name? The
Iman.
Hakatev.
Uh,
Fulanito, dile fulanito.
Well,
no, it's
al
I
fulanito.
Ese
Iman,
Well,
mismo.
Iman, Iman.
Ese
¿Cómo
mismo.
dice?
well,
I don't
look. To
know.
start off, I'm glad that he got his visas thing situated. I'm glad that he got the dopamine test situated. So there's a fight. I was a little bit nervous about that, but man, this is a good one too because I seen that dude go hit toe to toe with an Argentinian. So man, like I
Yeah,
want to go with him, but
that
at the
fight
same
was good.
time, Morel is a beast too, man. He was at 100% knockout ratio, if I'm not mistaken. Also,
Antonio said that when he saw them, how big Morel was to him, I had to go look. I think he's right. He's a lot bigger. Morel in size. Is it gonna
well,
be? Is it gonna look like that Keyshawn Davis fight where he won the WBO title against what's his name there?
Baranchek.
Baranchek. Yeah, where that he was
I don't
so
think
much
so.
bigger than
I don't
him.
think so because remember that other dude is a knockout artist. Also, he
No, yeah.
people were calling him like a mini Better Beef.
Mm,
Well,
I don't know.
so I don't know if you caught it earlier, but what we said on that fight, what I said was the Russian dude. He's more of a brute fighter. Like he's a comfort. He doesn't have head movement. He doesn't have footwork. He's just a straight up punching machine, and he's gonna
yeah.
knock you out if he catches you.
Yup.
The
It's a
difference
dangerous
is
fight. It's a dangerous
Morel
fight.
has footwork.
Oh,
Morel
for
has
sure.
pop.
For sure.
So that's why I
Yeah.
see Morel stopping him.
Yeah.
Stopping him is a hard word, but if he would stop him, wow, that would put him back
It would put him right
on
back
the
where he
And
got to
notice.
that's
be.
why Turkey gave him that fight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But they call
Suriel no quiere decir
yo,
nada, pero
Mira,
algo pasó ese día. Nunca soltó las manos.
all right, guys. Listen, I gotta cut this one right here. I have to go eat, and I have
Ah,
to
come
go.
on, Papi,
I
another
gotta
10
squeeze my
minutes,
wife's butt.
Papi.
She's bothering me. Listen, guys, we've been on for like I don't know how many hours, almost 3. And I love the conversation and everything, but we got some fights in front of us. We got Amanda Serrano Friday headlining in New York.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Netflix. Support the girls. Come out, show up,
Shit, I'm
click and
taking the day
tune
off
in.
tomorrow to watch that
Um,
fight.
yeah, I got a lot of situation to do tomorrow. I'm gonna get my workout in. I'm gonna try to pop on, and then I'm off to New York. I'm off to New York. I'll be in New York Saturday for the fight, July 12th, for this fight that we're talking about. I will be there live, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pop in and out on a live out there, and I just hope to have an amazing card, guys. When I get back to Round One Sports Talk, we're gonna talk about the results. I can't wait. So, fight fans,
Antonio, don't hide.
Antonio,
Hey,
nah,
no,
he
I'm
ain't
here. I'm
hiding.
here,
I already
brother.
know him.
Come
He's a
on.
man. He's a man of
Oh my
integrity.
God.
He ain't hiding. He's not hiding. I know this kind of guy.
No
So
te
I'm
he's gonna
right
show
here,
up.
esconda.
brother.
He's gonna
No matter
show
if I
up.
win or if I lose, I'll be here no matter what.
He'll be here, win or lose. I guarantee it. So, fight fans, I'm on to the next. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, click that notification icon. It'll alert you when I go on. Have a good night, gentlemen. It's
Take
been
care,
my
brothers. Take
pleasure.
care.
You
Suave,
guys